All right, guys, we are on the air again. Monday, the 9th of September, and time is marching on. We are getting towards the end of the summer. Our friends from down under, though, they're approaching spring and summer now. Kind of envious of them. Wish we could be that way all year round, but can't do it. Got to have a building season and a flying season, and it's kind of mixed here anyway, so not too big a deal. But anyway, I'm glad to be here. I'm Rusty from Stunthangar Control Line Forums. As usual, I'll be your host for the next couple of hours. Looks like we got a couple of YouTube viewers already looking at us, and over on YouTube. And as usual, the last few shows, Jack Snavely is the first one in. Hey, Jack, welcome to the show. And for you guys that don't want to mess with the video camera and microphone, you can use the chat box on the Stunthangar YouTube channel and watch the video live there, and then post texts to comment, question, answer, whatever, and we'll try to incorporate that into our discussions over here. And otherwise, the link for all of those that want to come on live with us on camera and with a microphone are posted on the Stunthangar Control Line forums in the live streaming at the bench thread. Steve Muncie, hey Steve, Mike Lanke, all right, he's going to be on with his new birds shortly. Good. It's always cool when Mike does show and tell. He always brings a lot of fun stuff. So yeah, we'll look forward to that. Meanwhile, I'll just sit here and blabber until the you folks show up. And I got an email from Tom Luciano today, and he and a couple of his buddies up there at the Circle Burners in New Jersey have finished working on the engine for the Super Satan that he sent me last month, and it's ready to go. So he's shipped it off, got a tracking number. It's in the mail. I'll be watching out for that. So thank you, Tom. It's a ball bearing Fox 36X, and they took it out in the pouring rain. I got a picture I'll show you later. And in the pouring rain, they flew the thing at 108 miles an hour. So that'll do. I better get some new tight laces on my flying shoes if I'm going to handle that sucker. Oh, and looks like we got a video viewer. That's Chris Hornady. How you doing tonight, Chris? Oh, you're in your workshop.
Yeah,
Finally got a night off. That's nice.
finally.
Yeah, let me click on you so I can view what you got there. Looks like you got a kit next to you. What kind of kit you got there?
Well,
Is that a?
this is the crutch built twister.
Oh, okay. Good plane.
Yeah, we'll see how it does. I'm just going to use it as a trainer right now. So,
Yeah, I was. I know you've probably told us, but what's your skill level at stunt and that sort of thing, or are you just a sport pilot, or you're getting into stunt now, aren't you?
non-existent really. I flew about 10 years ago, and then had to get out of it when I joined the Navy, and I'm just now trying to get back into it. I built a All-American Senior, and now I'm building this twister just to kind of get my feel for it before I crash let it Senior.
Yeah. Well, a twister is a good, solid plane for practicing the stunt pattern with. Not too hard to fix. I crashed mine. Uh, it must have been a few months after I built it and tore the wing all up and got a new. It was one of the Walter Umland kits, and I got a new wing from Walter and built it, put it right back together, and the fuselage was tough as nails. It had triplers on the nose, like some of them do, like his version does, and nothing else cracked or broke. So yeah, new wing, and it was good to fly again.
Yeah, I did this one like I do most of my profiles. I extend the motor mounts all the way back to the wing instead of stopping them about right here.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So that
That's
really,
just a stress riser waiting to break right there.
yeah, yeah.
In
That's like,
fact, Walter's kit, they extend all the way back to under the cockpit.
oh, really?
Yeah. And the triplers too. It's got balsa triplers on top on both sides. So you have to make a cutout to embed the tank into. And actually, it's sitting up against the fuselage, but it looks like it's buried into the fuselage. It's not really, but the tripler makes it look like that. But gives it a lot of extra stiffness.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, we'll see how it flies. Hopefully, I mean, the weight's looking right now. I don't know how much finish work I'm going to do to it. I might just put a coat of DP 540 on it, sand it, and put a coat of color on it. But yeah, it's looking at about 26 ounces right now. So we'll see how much the finish comes out at.
What engine are you planning on running on it?
I got a just an old Fox 35.
Okay. It might actually be tail heavy like that, so that'll give you plenty of room to work with
Yeah.
spinners and whatnot. I've got a OS FP40 on mine, and it seems to be a pretty good fit.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was wanting to build it as light as possible and really not going to do much finishing just because I am using that 45 or that 30 on it. And
Yeah.
I don't want to add too much weight to it really.
Mine came out right around 30, maybe even after I finished trimming at 31 because I had to add nose weight to it too.
Yeah.
Now I ended up putting one of those big, heavy acorn nut spinners on it. You screw them on, and that worked out pretty good. But I think I've got a Dave Brown aluminum spinner on it now, one of the $15 ones, and they work pretty good too.
Yeah, I haven't decided. I'm going to see what the weight comes out to before I start putting a spinner.
Yeah, definitely, because that's a good trimming tool, and it's good to trim with something functional rather than just throwing lead at it. So
yeah,
I did back in my half A days.
The original SIG plans called for a 1 ounce in the outboard wing. So that's all the lead I've had to put on it so far.
I ended up with maybe a half or 3/4 in my outboard tip weight box. And I think it recommended an ounce too, but a half to 3/4, somewhere in there is what I'm flying.
What lines should I mean, I'm thinking like maybe 15 at 60 feet.
That's what I start with on just about everything this size is 60 feet of 15s. And that's what I've stuck with too. And I get the right flight speed. And there's new fancier lines now that Bob Hunt's been talking about that are much better, but I couldn't make a recommendation on that. But and also, if you're going to fly in competition, you got to meet the AMA rules too. So.
Yeah.
And hey, Sparky and Jamie, they've joined us. How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
What you got? Ice cream, Sparky?
Yep.
All right, man. I have to go get me. I got ice creams and cones. I might have to go get me one. What's up, Jamie?
Oh, not a lot. Living the dream.
Oh yeah. What you got on the work table tonight?
I am hoping to start from beginning to finish, and there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do it while I'm on here tonight to build this half-A Super Cinch.
Oh, cool. Well, it looks like you're about to cut your first piece of wood. Remember, the finish starts with the first piece of wood cut, right, Sparky?
Exactly right.
Oh man, I'm spilling coffee. Hey, Gerald. Gerald just came in. You know, I got to get up now.
Hello, Sparky. Hi, Chris.
Hello, girl.
Hello, Jamie. Everybody's coming at once.
Because I got this cool little thing in Dallas last week. I don't know if I had showed it to y'all or not. Little Wasp 061.
Oh, yeah, you did show that to us. That should be a badass little engine.
Man, I don't know. I say I'm not going to put it on this thing, but I tell you what, though.
I'd be awful tempted.
It's either this or I got a TD05. I got two TD051s or a 049. Or I just stick a golden B on it and be done with it.
Well, there's not much difference between a TD051 and a TD049 unless you want to sell it to somebody, and then the 051's worth more. But I do love my 051. It's on one of my baby flight streaks, and the Norvell's on the other one. And that's been a great little engine. I've finally worn it down to where there's no compression anymore, though.
I will. I got that 049. I'm probably going to sell it because I got two 051s and I don't need two 051s and a 049. So
got my 2 new airplanes in today. You like them? Can you see it?
Oh yeah, hang on, let me click on that. Oh, those are beautiful. You just got some wood to carve away, you know, that doesn't look like an airplane, and then it'll be ready to fly.
These are next year's airplanes. One for me, one for John. There's enough wood in here for 2 airplanes. This is the unobtainium wood.
What is that? The stuff Stunthangar Hobby sells?
Of course.
The fact that you're holding it with one hand means it must be light wood. It can't be 12-pound wood. Holding it like that with one hand.
4-pound wood.
Oh, so it's not Sig wood. I got you. No, that's Sig. Let me take it back. Sterling. There we go.
Midwest.
Feeling concrete wood.
Yeah. Well, hang on. Let me click Sparky off while he eats his ice cream. I got him highlighted here. There we go. Back to everybody. Well, Chris came in first, and he's working on a twister. Chris, did you say that was just a standard box stock SIG twister, or is it a fancerized, or?
No, it's box stock. I just got some wood from Bossy USA, and I had the plans already, so it's all scratch built.
And he also extended the front doublers back to make it a little stronger. Apparently, SIG just doesn't even bring them back all the way to the wing, and we were talking about it. And that's just a stress riser waiting to break.
Mine goes almost to the middle of the wing. And mine
does too. Yeah, my Walter twister goes all the way back under the canopy.
Yeah, mine's a box stock, and it goes top and bottom almost halfway.
Oh, really?
My benchy and twister is so modified, I can't really tell. All I know is I didn't use much of the original fuselage at all.
In fact, as an update, I got paint on mine now. So
good.
So once that's done,
that's the retwister.
Yeah, the retwister. So hopefully I could throw clear on it tomorrow and mount tank and engine and be flying Saturday.
Who's running that Facebook control line site?
Which one?
I don't know.
Control line flying is the one Jamie runs, isn't it?
Yeah, me and Dane Martin runs control line flying and control line classifieds.
Well, thanks for joining me up, Jamie. I assume it was you that accepted me the other day. I just joined about a day ago onto the control line flying site. I belong to Control Line Enthusiast, but yeah, there's some good Facebook sites on there.
I won't join Facebook. Stunthangar had a Facebook page until I found out it was a CIA operation.
Oh, Mike Leinke posted a few minutes ago asking me if the storm was going to clobber me, and the answer is it looks like right now the cone of probability has it going more north of Columbia, but it looks like it could be a huge rain event for us because the direction the thing spins will be throwing rain to the south of it, and so I'm buckling down for flooding more than for wind. And Mike also said he hopes Tom comes to Huntersville, and I was posting on Stunthangar a minute ago. Hope so too, because somebody's going to fly that Super Satan. They got my engine running. In fact, it's packed in, put in the mail today, but they got the ball bearing Fox 36X running and took it out to fly in the rain. I think it was yesterday, but they posted a picture of it today and got 108 miles an hour out of it with 10% fuel. So that's a badass little plane. I gotta tighten up my flying shoelaces for that baby.
That's exciting. Very exciting.
And Steve just joined us. Good evening, Steve.
Hey, how's it going?
Steve Hines, that is. We're all right. We're just kind of getting in the groove. Built up a pretty good crowd early. Funny, sometimes Mondays build up a crowd faster than Friday does. These people are out busy drinking beer and raising hell on Fridays instead of coming into the control line forums. Oh, Ron Hass is here. Daughter's leaving Raleigh tomorrow to come and visit him for a week. Leaving Raleigh and coming to Florida, that might be a good idea because Raleigh is kind of right in the edge of the probability cone on the north side. There's also a fun fly coming up in November that sounds like it's going to be really good near Raleigh. The RDRC Club, I guess that's Raleigh Durham Remote Control Club, but the field has control line circles as well, and it sounds like they're pretty good circles. And they're going to have food all day and fun fly and no contest and raffles, and sounds great. I wish it wasn't 5 hours driving for me. It was 2.5 there. I mean, what is it? Let's see. It's more than that. For me, it's probably 4 hours there and 4 hours back, or maybe 3 there and 3 back. But
well, let's hope that it's still there after Thursday.
yeah, I remember when Hugo came through one of the inland cities, that being Charlotte, got hit really hard, and it tore it up worse than it did some of the closer to the coast areas. It came in Charleston, South Carolina, went all the way through South Carolina, and just hit Raleigh on a fly and run, and all the leaves were still on the trees, you know, in September, and so it blew all of the leaves off the trees and covered everything. The whole town turned green. It was funny to. Well, it would be funny if it wasn't, but I hope that doesn't happen to Raleigh. But hell, you can hope all you want when it comes to Mother Nature. It doesn't matter what. You just got to be ready for it, as ready as you can get.
Yeah, they said it looks like it's going to slow down and pour a bunch of rain there.
Yeah.
Like
now they're starting to mention Category 5 in the descriptions too, and that's the first time I remember that. Have they ever officially designated a storm as a Category 5 before?
I think so. It seems like that one that hit Florida was a 5.
Yeah, last year that Irma one, it was a 5 when it hit Puerto Rico.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Dennis, that's a Gordon Delaney design, isn't it?
What's that?
That's a Gordon Delaney design, isn't it?
No, it's my own design. I call it a circulus.
Yeah, Bob Hunt liked your color scheme the other night. Looks like his colors. And then Tom Creasy. Look who just dropped in. Look who the cat drug in.
Holy shit. Let's test some colors on that water heater.
What's happening?
Hey, it's gone. Hot water heater's gone, bud.
Oh, shit. Your planes are never going to come out so great again.
Yeah, see,
oh, my God. How are you going to test colors?
I know, right? I'm going to have to make something, ain't I?
They'll have to buy something like a new flat screen TV that comes in a big cardboard flat box. Put that up there. Take that TV out, chuck it, and use that box.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That sounds costly, a flat screen.
Hey, did you fly that twin tail thing? Tail boom?
That Crusader?
Yeah.
Nope. Going to September 22nd.
Oh, I thought you were going to test it before.
Well,
we
ended up getting 7 inches of rain, and then after that, it was 30 to 45 mile an hour winds.
Oh, that's right. You got the winds like we did here. Yeah, we didn't fly it all this weekend.
Because I was supposed to go to Chicago this past weekend, but I didn't make it.
The Gobble Swans and the Crusader aren't the same thing, are they? Are they?
The what?
Gobble Swans?
Close.
Is the Crusader the same thing as the Gobble Swans?
What I've read, no, they're not.
They're close to like looks, but that's about it.
Yeah, but so anyway, people was telling me it was a Gobble Swan. People was telling me it was a Crusader. So I just did the bottom side as a Crusader and the top side as a Devil Gobble Swan. So,
It's easier to explain people that it's a Crusader. You don't have to.
yeah, if they say Crusader, I'll just hold the airplane up upside down. There you go. You like
Yeah,
2 for 1.
yeah, that's a Gobble Swan. No, okay, tip it upside. There you go.
whatever you say.
Yeah, whatever you say.
What are you working on there now?
This is a Coyote, and it would be a great basic flight trainer plane. And this kids cancer thing is the 22nd, so the RC guys want to fly this. So I got to redo the motor mount. So that's what I'm doing now.
Okay.
You ever fly that chipmunk I give you?
Yes, I'm not used to it. It's heavy to me. It's real heavy on the lines, but I'm not familiar with how to trim yet. So I kind of like, well, I'm going to put it back on the shelf until I get some airplanes built and where I can fly intermediate in the full pattern. Once I fly a good airplane and get it right, maybe I can start into something as advanced as that.
That ain't a good airplane. It's too heavy.
If it's too much pull on the lines, the first three things to check are your out thrust, your rudder thrust, and your lead out sweep. Any of those three things affects the yaw. Less yaw makes less pull.
Yeah. Yep.
So did you get any paint on your airplane this week, Sparky? This weekend?
No. No, it's sitting over there, no paint, but it's ready. I mean, I'm going to Columbus or I don't know. I'm going up north to wherever Billy lives this weekend for that contest, so I won't get to paint this weekend.
Is Billy going to be there, I wonder?
I don't know. Probably.
Well, he lives outside of Akron or whatever. They got rid of that contest.
Whatever it is up north, that's where I'm going. 4 hours from here.
Yeah, Cleveland.
No, I thought Cleveland. That's Cincinnati. Yeah, Cleveland. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know Trexler's going, and I think John Paris is going. That's like about 6 hours for me. I don't know if I'll head over there or not.
Man, if I could drive 5.5 hours for Dallas to only make 2 flights, you can do it too.
Yeah, but I don't even make 2 flights.
Think of the kid, Steve. Think of the kid.
There it is.
If Samantha wanted to go and stuff, and I don't know what her schedule is this weekend, but I don't think we're going. So it's just kind of a waste of motel room and gas money.
Well, I got my hotel reservations for Huntersville made yesterday. Made sure
As far as I got with it.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's there.
Oh, hang on a minute. Let me look at that. Finally, I can look on it with high definition TV. Wow.
This weighs 34 ounces here as it sits.
Too heavy. Send it to me.
Do you know what did it weigh before you started putting on covering? You know?
About 30 ounces.
About 30.
Yeah. I got a couple more ounces to go with paint, and that's it.
Sparky, after you draped the front end with fiberglass the other night and then cleaned it up the next day after it had dried, did you put any more underneath it, like on the cowl, or wrapped around into the inside of it, or just left it like it was when we saw you do it?
it gets super filled. If you look here, this is a super. It's 2 pieces of plywood, but I put super fill on there to make the joint, you know, I don't know, perfect instead of having
make it made up without a gap. Okay.
So then this is tissued over the top of the fiberglass. And I put silk span over the top of that to dope it up. Yeah.
Hey, Mike. Mike Lanke just joined us.
What's up, fellas?
Mike,
Not much. We're just chilling out.
sweep the leg.
Sweep the knee, Johnny. Got a problem with that?
I could beat him.
Thank you, Gerald, for the super chat.
Okay.
So, Mike, did you come up with any motor yet?
Kind of, but not quite. Why don't we start with the airplanes, if y'all are ready for a little show and tell.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm going to turn your sound up a little bit.
Around here. Nope. All right, so there's the first one. SB-22, built by Alan Goff, from what I'm told. And I'm the 4th owner of this airplane. This one had wing-mounted gear and had the gear ripped off it, so it's been repaired, and they've been put on the fuselage, and it also had a bigger tank put in it.
Okay.
And they did a little bit of work back here on the horn at some time. This is definitely the more well-worn of the 2 airplanes that I just purchased. With no engine, it's got a tank in it. That's it. There's no pipe or header in it. This one weighs 44 ounces as it sits right now. So whatever the weight of a PA 65 or 61 with a pipe, that'll bring it up to its flying weight. I don't know. Sparky, do you know off the top of your head what those engines weigh?
That airplane, when it's done, will be 63, 64 ounces.
Okay.
How much?
I was told by somebody who knows better that anything under 70 would be okay on this style of airplane.
Be fine.
Yeah. So there's airplane number 1. Get number 2 up here. This is definitely the nicer of the 2 airplanes. Another SB-22 built by Alan Goff.
Yeah.
This one's considerably newer than the other one. I think this plane is 7 years old.
Yeah, I seen that before at FCM.
Okay. Yeah, the other one I think is about 10 or 12 years old. So this one is 7 years old or thereabouts. And this one has a header and a pipe in it. Its current weight is 50 ounces with a header, pipe, and tank. No engine.
So that's 63 ounces.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. There they are.
Nice.
Nice. Good.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to fly way better than anything I've ever flown in my life. Still hunting engine though. Still looking for a PA 65 or a 61 to go in them, and I'm not having luck with that.
Well, as I said, if you called Rich Oliver, he could probably get you a Brett Buck 61, and they'll drill the mounts, so that'll fit right in for a Rojet.
What's a Brett Buck 61? Give me some info.
He does. That's what Brett runs. It's different timing and stuff. It's almost like a 46 OS.
It's a Rojet engine. Is that what you?
Yeah, yeah. It's just different timing.
Okay.
That's like, I don't know, new 75 that Sparky got, if that's Dave Fitzgerald's timing and cylinder.
I hope not.
No?
I hope not. No. Why would you buy a powerful engine and choke it off?
I don't know. That's what David Fitzgerald does. I know, but
Yeah, all them West Coast guys want to run little tiny props and spin them up.
I'm not jumping into that fray, but I will say I'm holding out for a PA. I'd really like to put what these airplanes are built for back in them. So I'm not in a hurry. If it doesn't happen this winter, I mean this fall, you know, I won't get to fly them at Huntersville, but I can wait till next spring. I can wait 6 months if I have to try to get somebody to turn loose of one. So they're going to sit here till I can get a PA 61 or 65 to put in them.
Dennis, is that a Super Tiger 60?
Yes, it is.
How does it work with that Zor propeller?
Works really well. I really like it. I got a question for you, Sparky. On your Venturi side, what size do you run?
Whatever Randy Smith sends me.
Oh, okay.
Look for some 13.6 rev ups. You'll like them a lot better than that propeller. That's the only propeller I've ever. 13.6 rev ups, the only one I ever found that really works good.
Yeah, I
I have
remember
a
that's
couple
been
of
your answer every time somebody asks.
Yep.
They really load the motor perfect.
What's
That,
up, man, Mike?
who made that flow through muffler?
That's one of those Max product.
That's rolled.
that's rolled.
I hear you.
But one thing about it, Mike, is that if you did get Brett Buck, he can give you the setup. His motor always runs good.
Yeah, no, I have no doubt of that. I'm just going to bide my time and hang tight for a little while and see if anything comes through. And I did manage before a brand new PA 75 rear exhaust. That came in the mail this week. But I don't want to go drilling on it to make it fit this airplane.
Well, hell, that's exactly what I need for my impact.
Did you try to put it in there to see?
It will not fit, not even close.
Yeah, no, it won't go. It's not going to go. In my hunt for a 61 or a 65, I had a gentleman contact me that had this engine, and he said he was willing to let it go. So now that I know how rare these things are and how hard they are to get, I wasn't going to pass up the opportunity to own one, even though it's not the correct engine for these airplanes. If I have to, I'll build an airplane down the road for it, but I wasn't going to let it slip out of my hands. So there it is.
So what is difference about the 75? How far off is it?
The 40, the 61, and the 65 are a 40 case. The 75 is a Super Tiger 60 bolt pattern.
Yeah, but is the width of the motor and stuff like that the same or not?
No, it's 100,000th difference.
I mean, I was told by a couple of people that I could get this thing in there if I was willing to drill on the motor mounts and hog out the beams a little bit.
I've done it, but
I don't want to do that right now. I mean, I'm not that gung-ho to tear this thing up. I don't get it in there that fast. I've got time. I'll be patient. So
you gotta remember too that the 75 burns an ounce more fuel, so you need a bigger fuel tank. I don't know how much space you got in there.
Right, that was another consideration as well. I don't really have any intentions of putting this 75 in either of these planes. Like I said, I'm going to hold out for the proper engine, and I'll get something to build around the 75, or try to buy. Maybe there's some stuff out there.
At one time, I had 3 75s and 7 65s and 61s. What an idiot! I sold them. What a dummy.
Yeah. Now I'm finding out people just do not want to turn loose of those things, man. So, I mean, I got a couple of good finds on some people that had them, and I was told, you know, they'd be willing to sell them, and then I get a hold of them, and they're like, yeah, I got them, but whoever told you I wanted to sell them is mistaken because I'm not selling. So, hopefully somebody will take pity on me and let one go. I've got to the point. I mean, I've even offered up. I know that it's a combat engine, but I got a brand new Nelson 36 from the last run. That's $400 fast combat motor. I would offer that up. I'm considering throwing my Aero Tigers in the mix. If I've got 2 Aero Tigers, one of them's pretty well used, but the other one only has about 50 runs on it. If somebody be willing to come off a 61 or a 65 and do a trade and some cash, I'd throw an Aero Tiger in there, you know. So that's where I'm at. Whoever's got it, I sure wish they'd call me.
Yeah, you could, you know, Chris Rudd put that 75 in the airplane that he took there to France.
Mm-hmm.
That had the 65 in it, so I know it's possible, and you can't tell that anything was done with it. But Randy said that if you ever make 61s or 65s again, they're going to be on that case. So you might be better off to get the plane to fit a 75 motor. And
oh, really? He's going to put them in the case at the 75?
Yeah, because the molds are shot or whatever for the others. So if he ever makes them again, it's still going to be that 75 case.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what he said at the Nats. So you can call and ask him, but that's what I mean is that you got that 75. If you get both of them able to take that motor, then if he comes up with something else and you get one of his new ones that I thought he's supposed to be making some here pretty soon. He's going to do a run, but they're going to be the 75 case because that's all he got left for molds.
It all hinges on money.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I gotta go to bed.
All righty.
But you good night, Rusty. I mean, Sparky.
All right, Sparky, take it easy.
Yeah, the other thing is to trade that 75 for a 65.
I can't.
Why is that?
I'm not allowed. I had to. I have a gentleman's agreement with the guy that I purchased the motor from that I would not trade or sell the motor. If I do sell it, I've got to give him first right of refusal back on it.
Oh.
So in order for me to get the motor, I had to say, if I sell it, I got to offer it to him, and that I would not trade it or trade up or trade out. So I wanted the engine, and I don't have a problem with that. So I made the agreement with them, and want to keep my word. I don't want to be a shitbag, you know.
Yeah. So as I say, but that'd be the easiest way to get them because I know a lot of guys that trade their 65s for that 75.
Well, that was my original thought when he offered me this motor. You know, I thought, okay, I'm going to buy it, and surely I'll be able to swab. And then through talking with him, he kind of put that as a condition of the sale, and I agreed to it. So I'm going to stick to it, you know.
In the long term, I'm sure you'll be happy to have it and the others will turn up. You'll see other 60s and 65s turn up. It's like looking for automotive parts. Often
yeah.
An old car. Just be patient. Just be patient, and it will come on.
It's not going anywhere right now. If I have to get an airplane to go with it, I'll do it. I'm willing to do that. You know. I screwed up. I should have bought that. I mean, Steve, that plane at Brodax that Mark Weiss was selling, that one that you got for $150. I should have bought that thing right there. I was right there when Mark set that airplane out, and I couldn't believe the price tag on it. And I should have bought it, but I had no way to get it home. Oh,
well, that's just like here, 3 months ago, before the Nats, this guy died, and his family was selling off all of his stuff, and nobody wanted an Impact that looked like your plane, like that second one, the yellow one, that nice, with a PA 61 pipe header, everything. My brother picked it up for $200.
That's crazy.
But I called everybody asking if anyone wanted one, and you know, nobody wanted it. So my
Tell your brother I'll buy the engine from him.
Huh?
Tell your brother I'll buy the engine from him. I'll double his money, man.
They're rocking horse droppings. Those ones, they're becoming very rare and scarce, and then the people get very possessive about things like that. But
Yeah.
that happens in time. Yeah, it's like when Fox were making engines, nobody wanted them, and then as soon as they stopped making them, then the prices double overnight. Something new in the box is worth something at long last, but didn't help the manufacturers.
You know, I almost bought it just for the reason it was so cheap, and I knew I could make money off it but I wouldn't do that to the family to buy it and then sell it for extra cash, you know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess nobody thought they were going to fly it or whatever, and then my brother bought it. Now Dick's trying to buy it from all kinds of people trying to buy it from him. He's like, no, I'll just keep it.
Oh, okay.
Why? I don't know. He'll probably never fly it.
That was my next question. Does he fly it? Because, I mean, dude, I'm a serious buyer and I have cash. I got people in Michigan come get that damn thing.
Well, that's like you said. He goes, you realize how much that thing will be worth in another 5 years? He goes, the longer they don't make something, the more money they're worth.
Yeah.
Just like Gerald was saying, once they quit making them, everybody wants them.
Yeah, but, like a fox.
Yeah, but you can't, you know, Randy could hardly get 100 people to make a run for the 75s. But then once people have them, they won't sell them. They don't run them. You know, it's just kind of a crazy sport.
Yeah, I don't believe in that part of it. I buy stuff, I'm running it. You know, I'm going to use it.
Looks like Al just joined us. Hey, Al.
Hey, Al.
Hey, guys. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're good. I got an email from Tom today and saw the post on Stunthangar. Y'all test flew the the 36X yesterday, I guess, in the rain.
Yeah, well, we test flew it a few times already, and first 2 times I didn't like the way it ran. We couldn't get the speed out of it, so I took it home and did some tuning and grinding on it, and now it runs really good. Now we're happy to send it off to you, so you guys should have a lot of fun with it.
All right, great.
What is it?
It's a 36X needle bearing Fox.
Oh, okay.
And Tom Luciano gave Rusty his old Super Satan, and he decided to give Rusty an engine, and he did some outside work. He put the Larry Scarinzi diamond cut on the intake and polished up the case real nice, but when we took it out to fly it wasn't performing. And then we tried to put some nitro in it and took some head gaskets out, and it still wasn't performing. So I took it home and put the Larry Scarinzi tune-up on it, and now it's running really good. It's really running strong.
Oh yeah, change port timing a little bit.
Yeah, the crank timing, the port timing, head spacing, did all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
The opening and the closing, and now it's running really strong.
Yeah.
I mean,
There was some funny comments Tom posted up there today with that twister in the skies, and this is what happened. It was flying so fast it caused this anomaly in the atmosphere.
No, that was me that posted that. Yeah.
Who was it? Yeah.
That was good.
With the firing. Yeah.
You see what I posted?
You guys are going to have a lot of fun with that.
I hope so.
I mean, it was raining pretty hard. I was there we were supposed to have our combat contest yesterday, and the 50% chance of rain and better. So all the other guys, everybody that had to travel didn't show up. So then, but I took the engine along to, I wanted to make sure, test it. And so there was an opening, it stopped raining, it was very light. So I started it up, and as soon as I started it up, I knew it was running great. And first flight was 105 miles an hour. And then we put it away and we waited for the other guys because they said they were on their way up. And then we took it out again and adjusted the needle up a little bit more. It was raining a lot harder, and it did 108. So it's going to go faster than that because with all that water on the on the lines and on the plane, and and plus,
Sucking in the Venturi.
yeah, right, But it was running good. So
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
I was really happy with it. So we threw in. I gave you some pacifiers. I made some for you.
Oh, great.
And then I gave Tom an 8.7 prop. So you're going to run it on 10%, and like you or Mike want to fly it like an F2D ship, run the 8.7. If you're going to put like 30% nitro in it, then run it on an 8.8. And if you're going to maneuver it, because without high nitro, it's going to bog in the turns a little bit with an 8.8.
I'll bring a bottle of 35. I've got one. So.
Damn, Rusty, I didn't know you were so old. You need pacifiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens when you start hanging around with the Middlesex Club and guys in New Jersey.
But just just run straight Power Master the first time. The stunt fuel. That's the fuel.
Yeah. Well,
I opened up a fresh gallon, and your engine was fed with it the first time. First gallon of it. So it ran spectacular.
Are these wooden props?
No, APC, standard APC.
Okay.
8.7s and 8.8s.
Yeah, okay.
I think Tom's going to throw an 8.8 in there for you, too.
Yeah, he said he did in his email, I think.
Yeah.
That'll make it go.
Oh, yeah, no, it goes, it's engines been certified by us. It's going to do it, without a doubt.
Okay.
Well, Tom was asking about the hotel situation there in Huntersville. It sounded like he might try to come down for it.
Yeah, he was, he was talking about coming down and, flying with the guys, yeah.
I made my reservations yesterday. Y'all be sure and tell them you're with the contest, airplane contest, so you get your discount. It's not but like 59 or 60 bucks a night, something like that, with the discount. So
I made my
they probably got all the rooms redone by now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, 77 is fixed and finished. Nightmare the last 3 years getting in and out of there sometime.
Well, anyway, you guys, should have fun, a lot of fun with that.
yeah, I hope so. I thank you for all the help you've given Tom on it and everybody. And Schaefer, what's his first name?
CT Schaefer?
Yeah. Well, I call him, he goes by Tom or Carl, so.
Okay.
It's for,
CT, huh? So
yeah, CT, okay. Yeah. Tom Carl.
I got a buddy that goes by Mike and Carl. I call him Mike, but every time he signs up to fly, he signs up Carl, but he brings his dad, and his dad's name's Carl, and so I call him Mike and his dad Carl. So.
Oh, the Lindlers.
The Lindlers, yeah.
I know him for like 6 years. I'm calling him Tommy. Everybody's calling him Tommy, and all of a sudden, they're saying, "Where's Carl? Where's Carl? Who the hell's Carl? I don't know who he is." And now he's going by Carl. And he's signing up for Brodak as Carl. Where's Carl Schaefer? He's got to fly. I go, I don't know who he is. But
I like that cowl on the front of that cowl. What is that made up with? Epoxy and epoxylate, or how'd you do that?
What?
Dennis.
What's that?
How'd you do your cowl like that?
It's just balsa, and then around the outside edge, I got a couple layers of 1/64 plywood to strengthen it up.
Oh, okay. That looks cool.
Just put in some micro balloon and resin fillets.
Oh, okay.
That muffler looks like it's open in the front. Is it?
Yeah, it is. It's a flow through muffler.
That was how they got around mufflers in the old days.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Hey, Mike, I got a question for you. I was hearing you talking about the PA65s, the unattainable. What did an OS 46 VF fit in there?
Well, I'm sure it would fit. The problem is I don't want to go hack on the motor mounts to try to make another engine line up with the, with the holes.
I mean, just,
Why
I
not
think
under
I think it's a direct fit for a PA. I think they're identical.
Are
Maybe
they?
like
Yeah, I don't know that. If that's the case, then that could possibly be an option. We're trying to get away from having to resize the motor mounts or anything like that, jamming another engine in there.
Yeah, I think it's a direct fit too. It's just it's kind of, the road jets are the same way. That's done off of OS case and everything.
Because
it's gonna run like a Brett Buck 61.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still holding out, Al. I'm gonna wait through the winter and through the spring if I have to, and see what pops. I would really like to be able to fly one of these in Huntersville next month.
Right.
I'm not going to rush just to, and I don't know if you were on when I said I did get a PA 75. I've got a brand new PA 75 here that I was told I could cram in there if I wanted to hog on the motor a little bit, but I don't really want to do that either. So.
Yeah, around here, nobody's flying anything that big. Everybody's, 51s and down.
Right.
Right. Everybody.
This all came about because I had an opportunity to purchase these two airplanes. I don't know if you were on when I showed them. I don't think you were on yet, but there's one of them, Al.
Okay, that's nice, yeah.
SV-22, and then here's the other one, another SV-22, both built by Alan Goff.
Mm-hmm.
Had PA-65s in them. So.
What do they weigh?
The silver one, there's nothing in it but a tank. There's no pipe and header. Right now, it weighs 44 ounces, and the other one does have a header and a pipe, and it weighs 50 ounces.
Yeah, well, a 46 VF will pull that no problem. It's I love that froze up. What's going on here?
You're freezing up a little bit.
Yeah, something popped up on my screen.
Your bandwidth might have just dropped a little for a minute.
Now, and let me just ask, because I know nothing about the VF-46. Is that a rear exhaust engine? Is it a ball bearing motor?
Yeah.
Double ball bearing. Randy Smith knows about those engines.
Is that current manufacturer, or is that something that was made before and guys hopped up?
Say that, I missed it. What you said?
Is it currently being manufactured, or is it something that was made 5 to 10 years ago?
Yeah, no, it was made a few years, like 10 years ago or whatever. But Randy Smith keeping selling piston liners, AAC piston and liners for him and stuff.
Okay.
There's a bunch of guys that bought them. He had a big list of them going on. But I know it's a real popular engine. I actually have one that in a Buccaneer that weighs 80 ounces. Really,
So I'm guessing it was made as an RC motor to start with.
Right. Yeah, well, they had engines, and then they had ones that were engines, and then they had ones that were lower time, and guys put a pipe and discovered it's it was the 40 VF that they did that to. And then they, then the 46 came out, and some guys put even more. But
so that
the guys were talking about. Brett Buck always talks about his 40 VF. He said he goes to a contest. He always keeps his 40 VF with him just in case the road jets. He doesn't like the way they run for some reason. He goes back to the 40 VF.
And that could be a little more obtainable too.
Oh yeah, I would think so. I would get the 46 though. That's a proven setup. It's a proven setup.
I like the idea. The case is the same one and the 65. The motor.
I think the case and the header, everything fits up the same.
That would be nice.
Yeah, but I would talk to Randy Smith before you probably pick up one a lot cheaper too.
Yeah, well, I'm in talks with because he's hunting for me.
Is that you're breaking up a little bit? Is that on my end, Rusty, or is he?
It's everybody.
I think that's on my end.
I'll quit out because I just go later when the boys will. So I'll see if they help. I might come back later.
Okay, Gerald. We got so many people on that it might just be that YouTube itself is trying to handle so many.
Okay.
It sounds like crap right now.
Yes. Well, I just figured I'd throw that out to you. You know, being that you have two planes, you know, you could, if you pick up a 46 or, you know, whatever.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. I'll look into it.
You know, and, or, you know, like I said, Randy Smith is the expert on that. You know, I bought my pipe off of him for, you know, for mine. And he'll tell you what length it has to be from, I don't know, like from the glow plug to the, I don't know. I forget where it was, but he wants, you have to cut the pipe a certain length or something from the glow plug to the baffle or something. I don't know. I just did what he said. Put the fuel in it and ran great, you know. I bought the prop off of him, the one he recommended, you know, and
yeah,
you know. But the problem with that plane is it's just so heavy, you know. It's a real heavy airplane, but it looks beautiful. So you know, I sport fly with it.
Buddy in my club got a new pipe for
But yeah, basically the 46 everybody used, and Randy made piston and liners for it. Well, he didn't make them.
Henry did.
Henry made them all.
Yeah.
And then they quit making that motor, and then Randy started making the 61, or he made a 50. Actually, I think he made a 40 and a 50, and basically it was a copy of the OS.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we couldn't get them and stuff, then Rojet, you know, came about. Or it wasn't Rojet at first. It was, the guy who did the Nobler, George Aldrich.
Yeah.
He had them made. And then Brett Buck had the same timing of OS put in. That's the Brett Buck special. That's just the OS timing on that. It's basically the same. They're all the same thing. But that's why I was telling Mike, if you get a hold of Rich Oliver, he's got the pipe, he's got the header, he's got the props. Because that's going to be the next thing is you get the motor and you get a pipe and a header set up, then get a 3-bladed prop that works.
Yeah.
All that shit is unattainable. You know, that's the reason why Samantha flies electric now. I worked 2 years to try to get all that shit together and couldn't get anything. I
got a header and a pipe for a 65 one, so
yeah, you got that. At least you got one of them. But yeah, I mean, I spent $400 of my own money building an oven so I could get a pipe.
Make your own?
I got the pipe. Billy still got the oven, but he never made the pipes.
Here's a Rojet 61 Brett Buck special.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, right there.
And again, from Dubjet, and then the pipe also.
And what do those run?
These are what, 350 just for the engine.
Okay, what's the header and the pipe?
Header was I think like $100. The pipe's $100.
Okay.
It should be all the same header. Isn't all that stuff interchangeable between PA and Rojet? And
the old Rojets will fit on the PAs. They're interchangeable. The new ones, the last batch that he came up with that has that spacer on there. Let me see up close on that. No, okay, that's the same one as a PA because that little spacer's got to go in there. The new ones don't have that, and it's a wider set on the bolt and in. But that'll fit on a PA. That's what I mean. That stuff you can get from Rich Oliver. It fits. Just got to get the old style. But then I know Rich has somebody making props and stuff, so you can get props. But yeah, that's the reason why we went to electric. You can't get nothing.
Well, somebody got it.
What's that?
Somebody got it.
Yeah.
If you know somebody or whatever, you can get the stuff, because that's like I waited 2 years for the that Merlin 40, and I was finding out that other people were getting them a lot sooner before I did. And then when nobody else wanted them, then I got my chance at one. And that's how it works. So stuff shows up if you're the right person. Like Chris
one of the
Rock,
reasons why I went with the Rojet was just availability.
Oh yeah, the Rojet, you can get them anytime. You don't have to know anybody. Yeah, see, there's the prop. He carries everything. It makes it so nice that you can match what Brett Buck does. And hell, he's won the Nats with that engine and everything. That setup.
Let me ask this: in the stunt world, are there two camps? Is there the Rojet camp, the PA,
and the PA camp?
Yeah. Territory. Guys, is it all that?
I don't. You're a lot better flyer than me, but you couldn't. The difference in them two motors, one or the other, you would never know the difference.
Yeah.
If you get up there, to Brett and David and stuff like that, then maybe you could tell the difference on motor runs or whatever. And I think that it's but besides that, you don't know the difference. That's like Samantha's Rojet 75. We ran that with, just on a header muffler, and damn thing starts first flip every time and just runs around there like crazy. It's just way too heavy for her. But yeah, I love a damn Rojet. I mean, things are look at the workmanship on that motor. I mean, they're fucking beauties. I mean, it's all billet.
Yeah. I was looking at their website the other day. Is he still making? There's a cast motor that he makes as well.
I don't know if he makes cast anymore.
On his website, it's listed. It's not quite $100 cheaper, but it's a little bit cheaper. Same size. I believe
a 61.
I believe it was the 61. Don't quote me on that. It might have been a 50.
Yeah, I think it's the 50 is all he has left for castings.
Okay.
But that that gets to be like with Randy. Right, wants 100 because you got to get 100 castings made. You can't go less than that. Well, that's what with Dub Jet. He doesn't want to have all these castings sitting around, and you can't sell 100 motors.
So he mills them.
Yeah, so he makes them when they're needed. You can't blame the guy because it's like Henry Nelson if he does another motor run. He wants so many up front. It's not like the old days when they sold thousands. Now you can't sell hundreds.
Right. Well, that's not necessarily true. The last run of 36s, it started out as 50 engines, and he ended up making over 100.
Yeah.
And there's a list going around again. They're trying to do another run of Nelson 36s if he can get enough interest. But you got to prepay, you got to pre-buy, and I think they're going to be close to $400 this time. They were $360 the last run 2 or 3 years ago.
That sounds like a lot, but at one time, Enya made 1,029s a week.
Wow!
Every week, that's 52,000 a year, and we're looking now at selling 100 or maybe 125.
Yeah. How many Fox 35 stunts did they make in a year?
Oh, I don't know. That's what I mean. It's just like what we're thinking now, trying to get this stuff, and all these people want it. Nobody wants it.
Right.
Well, they want it.
About it.
Buy it. Nobody wants to put up money for something that may or may not happen.
Yeah.
Well, there's just not enough people doing it.
Right, especially the combat, but I bet you out of all those 100 engines, probably only 10 were used.
Yeah.
I haven't opened mine yet, Al, because I got 5 other good runners, man. So mine's still in the oil bag. It's sitting in the garage.
I have 2, and I break out, I pull mine out at least 3 times a year. But then I was on the Mark 7 kick.
Yeah.
And I bought pieces from Fox and pieces from Henry, and I put the Mark 7 together because the Mark 7 is basically the Nelson 36.
Yeah, it's 90% of a Nelson. If you get
and it's and I got it running really good, and I had it out when I was at the Hershey Combat Contest. We flew it in front of Henry, and then Henry said, "Let me see that thing." He says, "No, that's he still used the original Fox case, but he just poured it out and he put the big Nelson crank in it, and
I was gonna say too, Mike, if you look at Dennis's pipe there, if he'll show you the pipe, you can see what a good stinger looks like instead of that rubber thing poking out the end that flops all over.
That's Randy's pipe?
No, that's
Dubjet.
That's Rich Oliver's pipe.
Okay.
And it weighs just a hair over an ounce.
Yeah, it's really light, and he's saying that his pipe, he's got 10 years on it. They don't melt out, or that was the whole thing with me building that oven, so they could use different resins, so it could be cured to where the resin would take the heat last longer.
He puts the 90-degree on the end, so you don't have to use the rubber ducky on the end to get it out. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
The rubber.
That rubber ducky will cut about 30% of the power of a motor.
Oh, really?
Especially if it is flying fast, it actually straightens it out. We took pictures of one on an RC airplane, and we're like, the damn thing seems to run good. Then it just loses power and everything. Well, we filmed it. The air coming across the pipe will take that little rubber thing and bend it and pinch off the exhaust.
You have to look at a couple of them, though, because some will have a reinforcement in them. They have a 90-degree weight that holds it from doing what you're talking about.
Well, here's the pipe that's in this yellow one.
Yep, see, that's the one you want.
That's hard.
Yep, that's the one you want.
Okay.
Oh.
Pipe. Here's the head up there. Thing that would close off. It is airflow. It's solid.
Yeah.
I'll get it out. Something will come my way. We'll work something out, I'm sure.
Get a hold of Chris Rudd and see if he'll let loose of his 65s, because he's going to electric.
Okay.
And I know now he's got 75s in the stuff. So I don't know if he'll ever use the 65 or not again.
I only want one.
Yeah.
One. I mean, I'd buy 2, but I only need 1. 1 is all I need.
Is that what those planes had in them?
Yes. Yeah, they had.
So the tank's all set up for them?
It is, yeah. One of them was actually flown on a 61, but then he put a 65, put a bigger tank in it. So both of them have.
How many ounce tanker is in it?
What did he tell me? 8 ounces?
Oh, okay.
Is that right? 7?
Probably 7.5. I don't know if an 8 ounce will fit in there.
It's at least 7. I think 7.5 might be right. I don't remember off the top of my head. All I paid attention to was enough that 65 will run and you can get through the pattern. So,
to show you, we did a little bit of work on Samantha's airplane this weekend. I don't know if
you building another one?
Oh yeah, this was the one that we were supposed to take to the Nats and talk me out of. The rudder's just pinned on, so she's deciding how she wants what she's going to do with the rudder. But we got the top blocks all sanded out and stuff like that, and cool. The canopy's going to go. But yeah, so that's going to be the new 22 ounces without the flaps. So It should be way lighter than their other airplane.
I got more to show here if you guys are interested. The since I brokered the deal for the Testarossa and got it into the new owner's hands, I went and took the guy his money last week, and he gave me this Tucker with a 46 in it for Sam.
Tucker Special?
Yeah, it's silken dope. It's pretty light. I mean, it's old. It's got some time on it for sure, but it's got a reworked LA 46 in it. And then he gave me a bi-slob for Sam.
Oh, cool.
With a Fox 35 in it. So, a couple of gifts for helping Paul get that airplane moved, which I thought was pretty nice.
Yeah.
And then he had a bunch of stuff, you know, he's selling a bunch of stuff. And of course, I was looking at all that, wanting some of it, but I need more airplane shit. Like, I need a hole in my head.
Now he moved to Florida?
He did.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
I forgot where. It's shit. I done forgot.
Said it's almost 2 hours for him to go fly, to drive somewhere to fly with some guys. He could fly around where he lives, you know, probably some electric and stuff, but if he wants to fly with anybody, he's got to go 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
So I think he's pretty set. I know he has some stuff advertised on Stunthangar now, and that Hurricane that he built got up there, that is a beautiful airplane. It is beautiful.
And it flies good. He brought it to our contest last October. It is amazing.
Gorgeous airplane. And I told him, you know, anything that he sells, if anybody from the Huntersville area wants it, I'll transport it to the contest in October. If anybody.
Who's got the Hurricane?
It's Paul Taylor.
Paul Taylor, yeah.
Him and Jim
Lynch.
Lynch. Okay. All right. I've seen it. I've seen it. That's a beautiful plane.
What motor does that have in it?
46 LA.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I got on my.
I was gonna say you may have to buy a damn plane with a motor in it to get a motor.
And he painted it with Tamiya model paint.
Yeah, really good.
I got it beat. I use Walmart, 50 cents.
It ain't gonna work good for you now because your test thing is gone.
Hey, I picked up something new for the paint booth. I have now I can read humidity.
Yeah.
At least for the first couple paint jobs.
Huh?
At least for the first couple paint jobs, you'll be able to read humidity.
Well, this room, the room behind me is a paint room, so I'm going to keep it in here. It'd be the same.
I just look at my beer can. If it's sweating real bad, then it's too humid to paint.
Mine don't sweat.
No.
And if you can't tell if it's sweating or not, then he's too drunk to paint.
The sweating's caused from you're drinking your beer too slow.
I can say that too because mine don't sweat at all. So I might be drinking too fast.
Those heaters work real good for keeping the blush out.
What does?
Yeah, if you use those quartz heaters, they have to be quartz ones. I mean, that's what we, you know, use bigger versions, you know, in the shop. But at home, I just have, when I do something home and it's starting to, you know, blush on me, use a little retarder and those quartz heater, those 1500 watt quartz heaters, they turn orange when they heat up.
Yeah, right. I know what you're talking about.
Yep, they're good for you know, warming up the plane before you paint. You know, keep it from blushing.
Excuse me.
The Zoom light.
My bad. See, you don't let your beer sweat.
Yeah.
Because Mike, I'm in the same predicament. I was given one of Dale Gleason's Impact, and I need a Rojet 67 for it. And so now I'm in the process of saving for that.
Man, by the time I get up to where your all's level is, all the engines will be gone when I get there. I swear.
I tell you, since I've been flying stunt, just the 46s using 4 to 5 ounces at a time. So I'm buying fuel by the cases now. I can't imagine starting putting 8 ounces in them things and flying, put like 6 or 7 flights a weekend on them.
Yeah, that's a lot of fuel. I can't believe how much fuel some people say they burn in a weekend.
Hey, I got to put like 13.5 in my sport jet, man, just to fly 15 laps.
Well, that's kerosene, though, isn't it?
No, I make my own. It's 820 nitro methanol.
Okay.
Step away a second. I'll be right back.
I do run them on car gas once in a while, sometimes,
Yeah, there'll be a lot more motors coming up. They always come up. It's just like when that guy from our club died. He had 3 brand new Super Tiger 51s. You wouldn't part with them, and everybody, but he never flew them. There was a brand new 61 a Rojet side exhaust from the guy with the Nobler, George Aldrich. It had a George Aldrich PA exhaust. He had so many damn motors in there. Like I said, he had that 61 PA. Never flew none of them. He didn't ever want to get rid of them. Then when he died, they just sold them all off. But it's going to be like all of us. We all got these motor collections that we don't use. I got 2 brand new.
You hate that. It's always fun getting new shit, and it's nice getting a deal, but it's always kind of sad when you find out it was from an estate or something like that,
But
I gotta run. I'll talk to everyone later.
All right.
Hey, take it easy, guys.
All right.
All right.
Hey, Dennis. All right, wait. You left? You still there? No? I don't know.
But I got OPS engines and old OS engines, pumpers. I got an Inya pumper that has a gear drive pump in it. It's just stuff that I won't sell. And why? It's like this one here, never run.
What are you gonna do with it?
What am I gonna do with this? Probably let Samantha sell it when I die. I got all this stuff, but it's never been run. I had to have one of these 60s, Evolution 60s. It hasn't been run, and I got a couple Inya XCSs XCS 40s. They're a great engine. They're never been run.
Yeah, I really had to force myself not to buy the Evolution 36 when they were selling for $35. Was it $75? They were selling them right before they stopped making everything. Yeah,
I tell you what, Dick got a Evolution 36 RC motor,
right,
with a 3-port, and he put that on a combat ship. And I tell you what, a Nelson and stuff would have a hell of a time keeping up with.
Oh, I doubt that.
No, I doubt that too.
You can't believe everybody was like, "Holy shit!"
Doing 130?
Huh?
Was doing 130?
At least.
I don't know about that.
He took his Mark 7 off there or whatever it was, and put that on there, and we all said we think that's faster than the Mark 7.
Well, it was probably not a Mark 7 because not too many people have those.
Oh, Dick has like 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dick's got like 3 of them and like 4 or 5 of the 6s, and he actually says he likes the 6s better because the chrome comes off of the 7s or something. That last one.
Right. Yeah. Well, I have Henry Nelson's liners in mine, modified Henry Nelson liners in mine. But yeah. I had the Mark 6s. I kept on blowing the pin off the crankshaft. As soon as you hit 21,000, as soon as I hit 21,000 with a Mark 6, the pin, because I was racing them, and I was shearing the pin right off the back of the crank. They just have they don't have any shoulder on the crank pin, and I was just knocking them off clean. I blew 6 crankshafts with that engine, and I moved to the 7.
That's just like I got this APC 10.6 prop that I've had since the 80s. And so when we flew 40s and stuff, from Super Tigers to OPS to Picos and all this kind of shit, we stick them on the bench and run them, and then see what the RPM with bench run was. So we always had the same prop. And my OPS turned like 14,600 with that's no muffler. And that's how we always ran them. The Fox 40 coffin case, stuff like that, that run a little over 14,000. We put that Evolution 40 on the damn bench. It was the fastest 40 we ever run. It ran 15,300. There was nothing that even came close to, I mean, not Picos or Rossi's or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that 40 that my brother has, he's putting in one of these little fast ass RC airplanes.
Yeah.
We'll see what it does in the air, but it ran the most RPMs on the ground with that same propeller that's never been touched. So we always use that as a base. 10% fuel. And that damn 40 Evolution is just one killer motor.
The 40 or the 36?
That was the 40 we ran. I didn't run Dick's 36.
Okay.
Yeah.
But my brother's 40, just being a 40, you know, so I got written down all the RPMs of all these different motors. That son of a bitch was like 700 or 600 RPMs higher than my fastest OPS motor.
You know, I mean, guys talked about them. They said you can't push them too hard because they got a small crank in it. The crank is the weak part. The same thing with the Thunder Tiger 36s. The guys were using them in carriers, and you know, they popped the cranks.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like,
Al, I fell victim to the firehouse sale of the Evo 36s too, man. I bought one at the end there when they were.
Yeah.
I mean, I got one on eBay, I think, for $69 with free shipping.
Yeah, right.
With the 3 Venturis, you know, and the whole deal.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. Everybody was talking about them. And I was on eBay one day, and I happened to bid, and I got the damn thing for $70. So
I mean, I looked at that thing on the internet like every day for like 2 weeks, and I just, you know. But right now I'm into, you know, getting the LA 46s, you know, running really good. You know, that's we're working on those.
I'll tell you what, the Evo 36 is probably the best running motor that I have outside the Enya 40.
Yeah.
It'll start first flip every time. And all I did is that on the smallest Venturi, if you take that little nipple out and you screw a RC Venturi from a OS 20 or 25, you screw that in there because that's a needle valve deal. Screw it halfway through. That son of a bitch will purr like you can't believe, but you got to run the right fuel in it.
an OS 25 Venturi, or do you mean a nozzle?
No, oh shit! I gave that to Derek Berry. I was going to show you. If you take a RC carb, a OS RC carb,
the OS needle valve,
the needle valve and the nipple and all that kind of stuff will screw right out of there.
Yeah.
And that's the same exact threads as the one for the Evo 36.
Okay, I got you. You're using it. Okay, you're using the needle valve off an OS carburetor directly into the Venturi of the Evo 36.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, if you want that, and you just
like the remotes we run for combat, Al, right?
The same one. The remote that we use in
the
combat.
1A15.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
I use them in racing too. I screw it in the Venturi, like halfway through. It makes like a spigot.
I got looking at that, and I'm like, God, that looks like the OS needle valve. So I ran downstairs and got a RC motor. Took the nut, loosened the nut, screwed it out, screwed it in there. And what you can do with that is now you can use it to block off some of the venturi. You can screw it in a little bit. You can back it out a little bit.
Right,
To
yeah.
get more or less air.
Yep.
Can work slicker and shit. And everybody who flies that airplane, Trexler flew it at the Nats, and another guy flew at Brodak, and they're like, damn, what motor is that? Evo 36, and they're like, oh, bullshit, they don't run that good. If you limit the amount of caster in it, cut it way back to none, and keep it around 18%, that son of a bitch, it just runs good. It does not like a lot of oil. Everybody wants to put 22% or whatever in it. But if you run it like they say to run it, I even heard it runs good off the rear needle valve. The other thing is it's got to be really broke in. It takes forever to break them in.
And I heard guys were running those on all synths too.
Oh, yeah, all synthetic. That's what they call for from the factory.
All synth, yeah.
And
mine runs one on a Power Master 1022 on it for his primary force, and I think he uses a 10.6 or 11.4 prop. I can't remember, but it's a smooth running, and that's running remote. The remote needle setup with the but not with the small venturi. I think it's with the middle venturi.
I could turn the same size prop. I do turn the same prop that I run on a LA 46 on that Evo 36. That's how much power it has and how good it runs.
Yeah, it runs pretty good.
It has shitload of power.
If you like them that much, Steve, I got one I'll trade. I'll throw in on a trade for a PA, man.
I got like 3 of them.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, I got all these motor collect. I'll never even use all them damn motors. I got them on all kinds of airplanes, but you know, Samantha's supposed to be back this weekend, and we're going to have a burn party, and we're going to burn up some airplanes.
Well, I need a Rojet 67.
Like, literally burn them or like fly them and trash can them?
Burn them.
Don't burn airplanes, dude.
They've been whacked and this and that, and it's like it's time for them to go.
Man, there's a kid in.
I told her that everybody said that purple and pink and one that was on the cover. Nobody liked that. Probably should burn that one. She like, you ain't touching that airplane. But yeah, I gave a bunch of them away, and we've tried different things, and it's like we got a lot of airplanes from the Nats. You know, people give them away for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
None of them fly worth a shit. And I would
matter. Bring them back to the Nats, man.
No, I'm not going to give a shitty flying airplane to a kid. It causes more problems than anything else.
They're going to wreck them anyway.
Yeah. Think about the children, Dad.
I think it hurts flying a bad airplane.
God dang it to hell. It's going to hurt.
I agree with you.
When they're 10 years old, they don't know the difference, man.
Oh, no, but
my 1-year-old needs a plane, Dad.
I'll tell you what, it caused Samantha to have a lot of bad habits. Flying a bad trim, bad flying airplane. You know?
Yeah, but they learn how to save them a lot better, man. They learn how to run back.
Right, how to run.
Airplane, you know?
Then they crash them and they cry and they feel bad. And
Sam's over crying. We don't cry anymore, man.
No crying in baseball.
Yeah, they'll learn to act however Dad acts. So you know, you can work on that, make fun out of crashing. You know.
Yeah.
Take a picture like you did, like I did when I crashed the Magnum. I was so upset about it, but I knew it'd be funny someday. So I took a picture of me laying on the ground with the handle and the airplane scattered all around me.
I tell her all the time, there's 2 kinds of airplanes: those that have crashed and those that will crash.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the only 2 kind of airplanes there are. You know?
Hey, man, I did it at the Nats.
Yeah. And the other one is there's old pilots and bold pilots, but there's no old bold pilots.
Yeah. Rusty, my favorite was when you lawn darted the Yuki at Huntersville.
I did that.
You forgot to do the reverse part of the reverse wing over. Straight into the grass.
I just didn't pull out or something. I don't know.
Somebody gave you some 30-minute epoxy instead of 5-minute epoxy.
Yeah, it was all I had.
Flew 15 minutes later. Instead
Will made me. I couldn't do it.
he went up and flew. It had epoxy hadn't cured yet, and the first maneuver you did, the damn wing flew right off the
It
airplane.
folded, and it ruined my shoulder for about a damn month too.
I don't care who you are. That's funny.
That it's still waiting for its new wing. I got one part.
I got that video on. It's on my YouTube channel of your
It
crash.
is? Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
No, I was filming with your camera. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's
I was
right.
filming your flight with your camera.
You're going like, "Come on, Rusty, kick my ass. I know you can do it."
And then God,
you
man,
must have looked away and it goes, and you're like, "Huh? What happened?" Somebody says, "Bond dart."
I gotta see this.
I buried it up to its armpits.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was fun. Huntersville's always so much fun, man. I have such a blast there.
Yeah,
great time.
And Joe Colley sat and watched me. Do you know who Joe Colley is?
I don't.
He comes with Jerry. I'll screw it anyway. Joe Colley was there. I just met him, and he sat there and watched me go through the whole repair process, sitting on my ass in the middle of the field, like epoxying it. And he said, I'm just watching and learning, man. And I said, okay. I got him to help me do a couple of things. And later on, I come to find out that he's an accomplished builder. I've seen his stuff on Stunthangar lately, and I'm like, God damn, this guy wasn't learning anything from watching me glue a Yuki back together. So, Jerry, what is Jerry's name?
Jerry Glyer?
Yeah, I like that guy a lot. And Colley, every time I've seen Joe Colley, Jerry was there. I think they travel together, or at least they know each other pretty well.
Okay. Hey, are we coming up on a 5-year Huntersville contest, or is that next year?
We had the 30th anniversary the last time I flew in October, or the 35th anniversary. So, no. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, that was at least 3 years ago. Could have been 4. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that would have been 2016. And this is just 2018.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike. If that new airplane doesn't fly good, I'll give it to you, and you can play with it or whatever. But it's like I told Samantha, we're trying different things. If it flies good, great. If it doesn't, we move on. Ain't no more trying to put lipstick on a pig.
He's gotta leave the PA on it too.
What's that?
You don't have to give it to me. Give it to Sam. I don't need stuff. I feel
Well, he
bad
can fly it when he gets a little bit bigger. It won't take him too many more years.
because I'm a grown man. I kind of feel bad taking airplanes from guys. I'd rather they go to kids. I don't mind buying airplanes from people, but I'd rather the gimmies. I would like to see to go to the younger crowd.
And most of these kids can't fly 60-ounce airplanes or close to it. They're too big for them.
Sam's flying speed limit, so he can handle that. If I can get another 10 pounds on him, I want him to start flying fast. Hey, Al?
I tell you what, y'all move down here for a month and eat some of our food.
That kid wouldn't gain weight if he ate pizza every day, 10 times a day. He's so damn skinny and his metabolism's so fast.
He's a stick, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a struggle getting calories in him.
Well, that was like my ex-wife. She was 5'8" and weighed 101 pounds. So she goes to the doctor. So the doctor says, you got to buy this Joe Weider weight gain. And the shit was like $60 for a big thing of this. So she had to have it twice a day. And that was like 4,000 calories. 2,000 for each glass. So she eats it for a month plus her regular food. And she goes back after a month. She gained 1 pound. He says, well, it looks like it's working. So we do it for the next month. goes back. She lost a pound.
Oh my God.
Now she's right back to 101 pounds. The thing is her mom, it ran in her family that she was one of these people that only needed 4 to 6 hours worth of sleep a night. When she ate all them calories, she was sleeping like 1 to 2 hours. She was just always, the more she ate, the less she slept and just did shit. And yeah, people with metabolisms like that are just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the doc was getting on me so bad for about 2 years. He was having to drink like 3 protein shakes a day.
Yeah.
That muscle milk.
To try to bulk him up, you know. Oh, he drinks chocolate milk. He drinks it like crazy. But we had to actually get the Pediasure protein shakes because he every time he was a doctor, he grew an inch and gained an ounce. You know, that's the thing. He goes up, up, up. He's getting taller, taller, and taller, but he's not bulking up at all.
Well, I seen my ex-wife about 10 years after we got divorced, and she gained 20 pounds. She said she weighed 120 pounds. And I'm like, how'd you finally gain weight? She goes, I quit smoking.
There you go.
I gained 20 pounds when I quit smoking too.
Did you really?
When I quit.
Yep.
My brother gained about 80 pounds.
Shit.
My brother always weighed 127 pounds. He could never gain weight either. He quit smoking and then bang.
Yeah, I was like 170, quit smoking, 20 pounds, you know, like within 2 months.
Yeah, it does something, you know. But I wouldn't have them smoke just so he can gain weight.
Yeah. Need some of that Cajun food. So they need to skip Huntersville and come down here, eat our jambalaya for our contest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you just poop fire, right?
Yeah.
Hey, who said you'd shit fire? All right.
Well, I got 13 days smoke free again. I put them down again. I'm trying to quit again. I hope I don't gain 80 pounds. That's all I need, man.
Yeah, I could stand to gain maybe I should.
You're gonna be using your jet as a workout tool.
Drink lots of water.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I made it a week. I quit here not too long ago. Made it about a week. Like, fuck it.
What?
I'm gonna die anyway.
What'd you quit?
Cigarettes.
Sex with women.
For about a week is all I could do it.
Oh, well, you'll get there. Hey, at least you tried.
Yeah.
I'm coming up on November 10th.
Yeah, see, I thought that was a great deal. I was gonna fly back from France, and that was like 17, 18 hours of no smoking and all that kind of shit, plus sleeping and all that. So I tried, and I had patches, and I had this and that, and it's like gum. But I found out that gum in a cigarette's really kind of good. Chew a piece of nicotine gum, smoke cigarette. Well, that shit's expensive.
I never tried again. I just had acupuncture done on my ears.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Boop.
Did you quit?
It lasted for 2 weeks. Didn't think about a cigarette, and then 2 weeks went up. I should have went and got some more acupuncture, but I didn't. I fought it through.
Look, as much as I smoke, I'd look like a damn porcupine. They'd have to leave the son of a bitches in.
No, I found out that my wife she's good for 2 weeks, and then boom, it hits her.
Well, what I missed was they did
try it. I mean, if you could go 2 weeks, you're over that hump there a little bit.
What is that? What is the famous hospital there in Maryland?
John Hopkins.
John Hopkins. Yeah.
I don't know.
I watched House 8 seasons. I know.
Okay, so I missed it, but John Hopkins did a experimental thing, and it's kind of like ecstasy or something like that. These kind of drugs, but they give you this stuff and they put you in like a semi-coma for like 24 hours or so many hours, and they bring you out of it. They said you'll no longer want to smoke. it was like 100% success rate. And so I've been watching, trying to get back into the study. I'll fly to John Hopkins and try that. Well, they said somehow it turns your brain back to like you were when you were a kid or before you ever smoked. And you have no urge.
We're gonna have to start talking about airplanes again here pretty soon.
Yeah, really, man. Talking about ecstasy. I can tell you, man, ecstasy doesn't want to make you quit smoking.
I know what it does make you want to do. Anyway, back to them 049s, man. How about that, guys?
It's that kind of some kind of a drug, but they said that works. They're using on military with PTSD. It does something to get rid of the neurons or something, the link in your brain or whatever. But they said it works really good.
Hey, does anybody know how to work a tank like this?
Chicken hopper?
Yeah.
Just like a regular tank?
Yeah, I've got my first one now.
Hold it up against Uniflow.
Yeah.
Let me see the holes in the front. Yeah. Yeah. Flow chicken hopper.
Yeah, uniform chicken hopper.
Which one? Well, I guess I could figure it out. Which one's the overflow?
Usually the one closest to the fuselage.
Okay, that's what I thought. But anyway, you just put it. You just put fuel in it like normal, and
yeah, they just do that because that tank is so short that way it doesn't create as much head pressure, whatever, on the fuel, and it keeps it running constant through the whole run. They work pretty good.
It's easy to keep a constant head inside of that little compartment.
They work real on combat planes.
Now, do you have to completely fill this tank up first and then pull out?
That's the way I usually fill all tanks, but with that little compartment on the side, you better, turn the plane on its side when you're topping it off to
Like
make
an angle like that?
It'll fit right. I've never turned it or whatever.
You'd
what?
what?
The wedge round.
But the air will always go to the top. It won't get stuck in that little chicken hopper.
I mean, but it's the same. The pickup is on the center line of the tank. In the
Right.
back.
Still on. Yeah. It's all the same.
Gotta have a half a tank to get it going.
Yeah. Same as any tank.
Yeah.
Except the clunk.
Okay.
It'll be just like a regular tank.
It's got more solder joints, so it's more prone to leaks. But when they work well, from what I've seen.
Well, I've got a leak detector. I'll just leak check this tank before I mount it.
Pressure testing.
Yeah, hook up your air compressor.
That's right.
Here's one on a slow airplane, same deal, copper tank. And this one actually has, here's a shutoff you guys might not be familiar with. This is called the string over the wing shutoff. That little.
Oh yeah, it pinches it.
Top on there with a spring right there. Cut the spring from here to your lead out. And when you're starting the airplane, you hold it open like that. So you're running open. And then get tension on the lines, the string, your up or down line, it doesn't matter which, holds that open. And theoretically, if you tension, you got to shut off. And they actually work. I flew this. This is an old Russian slow. I flew it in Detroit last May. We actually flew slow combat in Detroit last May. Nelson's with suction tanks on big Russians, Al, on the old big slows. And I got in the midair, and that's all that was left of this thing. But the shut off worked, believe it or not.
Well, that was one badass collision.
It would, to me though, it seems like that would put a whole lot of damn tension on one of your lines.
It's a Nelson, man. As soon as you let go of that thing, you got a whole lot of tension. Believe me.
So that
Yeah,
was
doesn't it give harder to give up or down with that damn thing always pulling on that line?
Now, have you ever flown a Nelson?
No.
Understand the line pull involved. That little bit of spring there ain't gonna do enough that you're gonna notice at the handle. Believe me. I mean, even on a slow with a Nelson, they're still going what, Al? 105, 110.
yeah, over 100.
Yeah.
You had his Venturi in it, the restrictor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
running
running on suction. Yeah,
suction tank with a
Yeah.
and a Venturi. Yeah.
and what they were flying the slow combat.
Yes. Yeah, we had to fly the event in Detroit, man. Ronnie
Yeah.
Colombo and Ed Breed, everybody flies it. I've
Hey,
got.
Mike, are y'all going to fly fast combat at Huntersville this year?
Yes, we are.
That'll be the
Al,
first time, won't it?
I got like 10 slows up here from Mac Henry.
Okay.
And let's see if I can find this other thing here in my engine box. So, bear with me for a second. There's a slow setup right there.
Yeah.
36. Ronnie gave me a fork mount, which is nice. I like that. I'm going to put that on.
Yeah, I have one of those. Let me see the Venturi setup on the slow. Let me see the front.
Okay. So, right there,
okay, yeah, okay. Yes, I have those.
that's one of Ron's Venturis, and you see
Right.
that?
Yeah, I have that. Yeah.
And then you got the pin. I don't have the screw. He couldn't find it when he was given the setup. He's got them now. But that pin holds
Right. That's where the spray bar goes in the fast. You're just taking out the spray bar.
yeah, right there where the
Right.
spray bar would be.
Right.
Insert your Venturi and then stick the.
Right.
And
So who came up with the square Venturi first? Fox, Enya, or
Fox.
Nelson?
No, Fox. Fox had it first. Fox had that square Venturi back in the in the 60s, early 60s.
Oh, okay.
Or late 50s. The combat specials, as far as I know.
But
Nelson came out, I think, in the late 70s. I don't know. I have an encyclopedia on it.
Came out in the
Fox
70s.
has a square Venturi, does it not? Al?
this,
And you came out with a square Venturi in the 70s?
This is one of Mac Henry's old slow motors. He had a Delrin Venturi in there. That's why it's JB welded. Because
Right.
Some Venturi in these, what happens when you crash, back. So I just made this one a dedicated slow motor, since they still fly it in Detroit, and I've got all of them damn planes from Mac. I mean, there's like 5 brand new Mejlik slows up there from the 90s. The long boom, big tail.
Right.
And if we got the equipment and they still fly it, I'm going to use it, And I flew it for the first time last May. I went up there and I go there and fly speed limit and fast anyway. And got stuff. And I got planes. He's like, bring them, we'll fly it. And I tell you what, we had a ball, man. It was so much fun flying. I've never flown it in my life. Never flown a slow combat plane in my life. Before the meet, like, okay, I guess I'm ready.
I never flew modern slow combat. I only flew it back in the 60s, on a Ringmaster or a Flight Street. It was 36 sets on it, but never, never with the Nelson.
Was the Ringmaster originally intended to be a slow combat plane?
No, it was a sport plane, a stunt plane,
And it's got a Yak 9 and a Mustang that I still hadn't put together that I bought from Mike a couple of years ago.
So this is one of the slows. I was flying in Detroit. This is one of those Mejliks. It's, you know, got the suction tank set up on front. Usually it has a super long boom on the back. This very airplane, I was flying a match with Ronnie, and we had a midair, and he took my boom off, took the boom completely off. The airplane stayed in the air running and flew out the entire tank of gas just the way I just showed it to you, with no boom, no elevator, no nothing. It just flew flat and level till it ran the tank out. I actually had time to get my phone out of my pocket, and I videoed that flight from the circle of that wing just flying with no boom and no elevator on it till it ran out of gas and crashed. It was insane, man.
I think that's a Meslick.
Let me see.
Is that what that little tag?
That looks like an FAI tag there, but that's definitely Russian. It looks like a Meslick because it's got that kind of green and pink paper on the front.
Yeah.
Let me see the elevator. Yeah, that's a Meslick.
I got that for $5.
What's that?
Got that for $5.
Oh wow!
I got 3 of them. They're $5 a piece, and one came with a LA 25 on there.
Where did you pick those up?
That guy that died.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just bought it because the people wanted, she wanted to get rid of them all, and nobody was buying anything. Yeah. It was like $15 for them 3, and I'm like, all right.
All right, Steve. I give you 10, you 5, and give her 5. We all win.
You lose Al?
Looks like it.
Yeah.
I didn't see him sign out. Let me check the log. Yeah, let's see. Oh, it doesn't have a timestamp on it, but he's gone.
They gave me this one, but I don't know who. It's kind of like the same tail, but it's a little bit different. But this has got that paper on it too, but it's red with like green stripes.
Yeah. Yeah, those are old slows, man. Those are made for Nelsons on suction tanks or Mark 6s, Mark 7s. I can't believe that thing flies with a 25 on it.
Oh, they've been using it for a trainer.
Well, I know, but it'll probably be super tail heavy, man. Unless there's a bunch of weight on the front.
It actually seems to be nose heavy as a bitch, and I don't know why. It doesn't turn very well. Maybe it ain't going fast enough.
Yeah, well, it probably ain't. High.
This one has a muffler on it and shit like that, so.
Great trainer.
I don't know what a LA 20 or a FP 25 with a muffler and stuff weighs compared to a combat motor.
Not enough.
No.
No. I set up 2 of them with Fox Mark III, dropped them way down for stamp. They were foam wing slows, but same style, same size wing and the long boom, but they were just solid foam wings, foam builds.
Yeah, Samantha flew that one and she said it won't turn.
Yeah.
But, I'm not sure if they hung the engine, a lot further. But
Well,
it's made for a chicken hopper tank.
Put the rod all the way on the closest hole and use a big handle. It'll turn.
Oh, okay.
If you're going to run it with a 25. Give it more elevator and use a big handle.
But I guess that he learned to fly the pattern with that.
Oh, okay.
Is what he did. So it didn't turn, turn like a combat ship. And
yeah.
Hey, I never noticed what you guys pull for how many pounds you guys pull for a pull test on your various combat planes.
25? 35?
Mike's like, we pull test?
You got to run 17. You got to run 17s.
What's the pull test?
Yeah.
You got to run 17s or you run 15s.
18s.
18s, I mean, yeah.
Gotta
So-
run 18 speed limit.
Yeah, so they're doing a hell of a pull test on it because
You
I
can
mean,
run 15s. I think they run 15s in F2D. But
Oh,
speed
okay.
limit doesn't matter, even if it's a F2D model. You got to run 18s on it. Them's the rules.
yeah. So yeah, you'll never have a problem on a pull test because that's for anything over 64 ounces on a stunt ship. So
Pull test. That sounds like an ex-girlfriend. Is she a redhead?
What'd you say, Steve? Shit, what about 64 ounces?
you got to go to 18,064 ounces on a stunt ship. So that little light ass thing, that's some big lines on something that weighs that much.
Well, but see, the thing is, that plane was meant to fly with a Nelson or a Mark 6 at over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I still had that in mind from when you were talking about the, pulling on the cutoff. It pulls hard, but that's why I was wondering about your pull test, if y'all even do them. But
yeah, we do them, but I'm never on the scale, and I'm always holding my airplane. Howard goes down. He's got the scale set up, and he runs down and bim. Same as they do at for stunt. There's a pit box that runs down and pulls everybody's model.
I think a lot of the heavy lines is more for pulling. It's in a crash that the lines don't cut as easy or whatever.
Yeah, at the Nats they got a really nice machine where you hook your up. It checks your line length because you've got to be plus 60 feet plus or minus 6.
Yeah.
So there's got a little board there so that you can check your line length. And then you just yank on your airplane and got a weight system, like a lever with a weight on it. And once the weight comes off the ground, you're legal.
Yeah, they use a machine similar in Houston for their contest at Scobie. I thought my ringmaster wing was going to snap off.
Emily says the guy from New Jersey, meaning Al, seems like he could make tutorials on Norvels or other engine setups. Very informative. Well, we'll have to tell Al that Jack complimented his knowledge. Al was having bandwidth problems, I think, tonight.
Oh,
I saw him lock up a bunch of times.
Yeah, I know they're in France. That one pull test guy, he about pulled me off my feet. I don't know what in the hell he was looking at for pull, but I never had anybody pull an airplane so hard all my life. And as fat as I am, it's hard to pull me off my feet.
And you see, like I'm doing pull tests at our contest, and they told me, you don't pull. You tell them to pull. You just hold them to it.
Right. I mean, that's the way it should be. You should be pulling the model, not the pull tester pulling the scale.
Oh
yeah, I mean, when we went to the other circle, they didn't pull near as hard. I mean, you feel the pull on the airplane, but I mean, when I was set with my feet spread apart sideways, hanging onto that airplane, he was pulling my back foot up off the ground. It was.
And break their wings, they don't fly.
Yeah.
So, Rusty, you gonna be up for it?
I don't see being able to fly, Mike. I can hardly walk at all.
Okay.
Well, just hang on tight and just go for a ride, Rusty.
Yeah, I know.
As long as you got your thong on, you'll be all right.
You had to get you one of them chairs that spin around.
That's right. I'm just going to say
I
that.
don't want to go around that. Well, I could sit and do loops and stuff. I could possibly do it standing, but going from not flying a stunter in a year, a real flight, to flying 110 mile an hour combat plane, whether I'm standing still, just keeping it turning or not, I don't think I could do it. The reflexes are gone.
Well, I was wondering about you. That's what I was specifically asking.
You broke up so bad I couldn't hear anything you said.
I was wondering about you flying stunt.
Oh, I don't think so. Maybe if it comes and goes with me so fast. If I hit a good stretch, yeah, I'll fly. And once in a while, I hit a stretch where I'm stable enough to feel like I can do that. I have to have somebody out there in the middle with me in case I start to fall down or something. Make sure I don't bust my head on the pavement. But yeah, I'd love to. I mean, there's nothing that I would love doing but more than flying something at a contest. I was not ready to quit.
Look, you're a rascal.
And
Al's back.
Yeah, hey, Al.
hey, all right, Al.
Yeah, the Windows decided to update on me.
Oh, God, I hate
Okay.
that.
Yeah, well, like he didn't say goodbye or nothing. He just disappeared.
Boom. Yeah.
Next thing I knew, the screen it started closing. It says Windows is updating. I go, oh shit.
Hey, you got a compliment while we were gone, Al. Let's see. Jack Snavely said that guy from New Jersey seems that he could make some tutorials on Norvels or other engine setups. Very informative.
Norvels or other engines. Oh, I worked on a lot of Norvels also, but I mean, not for stunt, just for hopping them up.
Yeah.
The thing with the Norvels, well, it's NV now, but they have a high performance piston and liner. I think I was telling you guys about that the other day. And there's a difference in the piston in the liners. They got ones that have like bigger ports, intake ports in them, and they run a lot stronger. That's why Roy and Lewis used to run Norvels in the Hefe Combat, in our stuff, and they used to switch out the liners and to get more power out of them to keep up with the Boars and the Cyclones.
Yeah. Oh, I fly as the sport Norvels, the big MiGs. I got one AME on my little Gladiator, but the big MiGs, that's what mine are called Rev Light. There's pre-Rev Light and there's Rev Light. And I'm thinking that's just some version of ABC. I don't know what Rev Light is. Some kind of coating.
Ceramic coating.
Ceramic coating.
Yeah, ceramic coating on the liner. But we used to just take a Cox rubber ducky that was it a 5.4.
That's what Mike tells me too. They
cut it to like 4 inches, and nothing else works better. You could buy an APC or anything like that, and nothing else would work better than that.
Yeah.
But you have to get the ones that have the reinforcement on the black props. They have like reinforcements right at the hub, like about a quarter of an inch long. Because I bought some of the other black props that they sell and started up, and it threw the blades like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it threw the blade as soon as it reached peak RPM. So they have, I forget exactly which 5.3 it is, but it's the 5.3 rubber ducky, but it has the.
Hold on now.
It has the bosses on them.
It's one like this.
That's
Turn it sideways.
Don't put that on a Norvel. I mean,
show it to me sideways.
I'd rather for combat. You'll throw the blades up.
This one has like the little nubbies at the end of it.
No,
that's a safety.
It'll be by the hub.
Oh, okay. No, not these.
Yeah, those are the safety.
Those are the ones that I tried that I bought that through the blades. I mean, if you're going to fly for stunt or something, you'll get away with it. But you start cranking it up over 20,000 RPMs, and then it's,
Have you ever
those will toss the blades real fast. What's that?
That would come with a warning label.
Oh, my rubber duckies. And see what kind I got all of my rubber duckies are pretty old ones.
I have them. They're down in the base. I should probably show you guys the right ones to use.
Yeah. I wonder about the ones that Bernie sells up at CoxEngines.ca.
Yeah, well, I bought some. He sells the other ones too, is because I bought some off of him, the wrong ones. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Found out the hard way.
Al, I don't know if you saw these when I first got them, but this
No,
is the engines that Don Cranfield sent Sam some half-A stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's AMA. Yeah. Now, but that's the older version, right? That's not the ceramic.
Right, that's the old one, and
Right.
that needle will not work on a bladder.
Okay.
And we've got, there's another one.
More modern one. Yep. Okay.
One with a stop.
A 61 or an 049?
Had .08 on the other one. That's a 60 SR49.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any markings on it.
It doesn't have a 10 on the other side. A 10 or a 8 on the other side.
I do not see one. I do not see a 10 or an 8.
What's in that little circle on the ones on the other side of the muffler?
It's
Other
just
side.
a logo. Oh,
Just
Other
below
side.
that.
Yeah, circle. What does that say? There's something in there.
What's that in the round boss at the top?
Does it say 10? I
That
think.
says 10 right under the needle valve.
does it say 10? I can't see that.
Yeah. Yeah, on that little boss that sticks out in front of the AMA.
Okay, I guess that is a 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's a
61.
yeah. That's an 061.
And then I got two of these.
Right.
These are,
That's an 8.
that's an 8. And it's got a fork mount.
Yeah.
And that one will run on a bladder.
I thought mine said AME. Maybe it says AMA.
There's another one. Another 8.
That's not an A there. That's an AM in something else.
Yeah, I know. I just call it an A because I don't know what else to call it.
Well, it's
Delta?
it's a Cyrillic E is what it is. It's a Russian E.
I got you. Okay.
AME. These are AMEs.
I'm just, yeah.
It's not an A. It's
Right.
a
The Cyrillic E. Okay.
Cyrillic E. Okay.
Yeah, when I made the lettering for my Yak 9, I made sure I had a backwards R in it somewhere.
And this one, it's got a nozzle for a remote. I have run this one on a bladder. These two little guys are screamers. They run like stink for sure.
Yeah.
And then he also sent me some VAs. Wow.
Roy used to run them all the time.
Some rear exhaust VAs.
And you got the Nelson plug in it.
Yep, both of these are set up with Nelson plugs. And they both have needles fine enough to run a bladder. Like I said, Don Cranfield sent me.
Yeah, those are the Driscoll needles.
The
first one's the Driscoll needle.
I have another Norville. But Cranfield sent me. I think there was like 6 more. I think there was 12 total.
Uh-huh.
And I went through them, and I was able to get these 6 to run pretty decent. The rest of it was all just parts and pieces and broken cases and burned up.
Oh, have you ever done anything with the VAs?
I just ran them on a test stand. I just hooked them up to.
No, I was wondering if Al ever.
Oh.
I didn't run them, but I flew against them. You know, Roy Glenn flew the VAs, and they run good. But the big MiGs, you know, the modified big MiGs, you know, outperformed them. You know.
Did they really?
Yeah, yeah. Well, they were 061s, but yeah, they outperformed the VAs. You know, so they stopped running them.
The true 049, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
But, and then
question now, I need needles. What do I need to do? Because that's a suction needle, and that's a suction needle.
Right.
I need needles for these, and I know you cannot get Driscoll needles anymore.
Try Garabro. Doug Garabro.
No, he doesn't have Driscoll needles.
You can get the Cox spray bars from Texas Timers and do what I did, sleeve it and bore a hole in the sleeve so there's a hole for the spray bar, and then thread it into the hole that originally held the Venturi in. Let's see, how does it go? Does it go through the Venturi? But anyway, there's a tutorial I did on rcgroups.com, but I left the Venturis in mine, but you can do it either way. Just make a bathtub.
Yeah.
But it works good.
What do you do to
Timer
it?
sells 128 per inch thread, just like the Cox engines used to have.
I'm going to step away for a minute and see if I can dig up I want to show you guys the right prop that you use.
Okay.
Because I'd like to get all of these set up to run on bladders, because I got a bunch of half-A combat shit that I won't fly in contests anymore. Sam can tear it up.
I hadn't been to Texas timers in a long time, and I went and looked the other night, and those spray bars have gone up from about $5 a piece to $15 a piece now.
Mm. I'll to get back here.
All right.
I'll see if I can find that link that I was talking about to my retrofit, spray bar retrofit, and post it on Stunthangar.
Hey guys, I'm going to take off. Maybe I'll catch you Fridays.
All right. Shit, what's your name? Tom.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Oh, that's right.
Take it easy.
Yeah. Have a good week.
Later, bud. All right, Rusty. I'm gonna have to put it into it because I got to get up early, but this is it so far. All that's left is lead outs, bell crank, a little firewall for the engine.
It's looking pretty good there.
And that's that.
Put the
And
big
what
one
engine
on
are
it.
you going to use on it? Just a
Put the
junk
fast-
drawer 049?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I can make a nutto. I mean, this took all of what, like an hour, a little over an hour and a half. And,
So what have you got to power it? Just a junk drawer 049?
Yeah, I mean that's a Black Widow. I mean, I got a variety.
Well, that's what I call them all.
But I want to make one. I want to do one like this and make it with beam mounts, so I could do TDs in that little Wasp 061 I got.
Well, don't jet out of here yet, James. I think Al's bringing a prop to show you.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to look up that needle valve job on needle valves.
What's up, Gerald?
All right. Oh, I'm listening to you talk about the setting up the AMEs. It's interesting. We don't generally do the 049 combat here, but our half-A combat's 1.5 or 09 diesel. That's what we did in the past. But
Yeah, well, they wouldn't be competitive here in half-A combat. Everybody's running fours and profis. You know, the AMEs that was 90s technology, I believe. And then in the 2000s, the fours came out and everybody went to those. But I've got a sack full of them here, and I just want to set them up for Sam, you know, something to bash around in the backyard.
yeah.
Hey, I wonder if this is the prop he's talking about. It's a 5D 3P, and it's got the little nubs close to the hub.
That's the right prop. See, I'm holding it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's
Too
the
close,
right
Al.
prop.
Close. Back it up just a little bit. Right there. Right there.
This one's already. I cut it though. But you see, it has those two little.
Yeah, it's a Thermodrome prop.
Right. That one you can spin fast. The other ones with the safety tips on.
Yeah.
As soon as if you're.
You can bend those and snap them. I mean,
this is the one that you don't. Where's the camera?
Up into your. Now go to your middle set a little bit. There you go.
Right there. Perfect.
That's the one you don't want to use.
Okay.
It has the safety tips.
Yeah.
It has those.
Definitely don't use that. Yeah.
Don't you? As soon as it hits RPM, it'll disappear.
Yeah. You can hold one by each blade and turn it and snap it. A lot of them like that. The yellow ones, they make yellow ones like that too.
Right. Yeah, but that's again, that's the one.
It's got yeah, it's got little grips for the spring.
The little ribs right there.
Yeah, that's to help with the starter spring.
And this prop works way better than it should. You just cut it off straight, and that's 4 1/4 inches, and that's the way to do it.
I like to round the tips just a little bit in case I get my finger in it.
And we just
they came with the $5 TD051 I got a couple of weeks ago.
Let me click on you there. Yeah. Has it got a ring around the bottom of the piston?
Yeah, see, because he told me it was a 049. He didn't know what 049 it was. And when he sent me the picture in the email, and I seen that, I'm like, okay, I'll take it. I don't care what it is. I know it's a TD of some sort. I'll take it for $5. And then when I got it and I turned it, sure enough, seen that little ring, like, oh, it's actually an 051. So I got 2 of them, and now this is the 049. I'm probably going to sell this one.
There's not much difference in performance there, is there, between an 051 and 049?
No, hardly none noticeable at all. In fact, variation between different 049s it would just fall into that group, and you'd never be able to detect a distance no matter how many times you tested it.
Yeah, because I mean, it needs a car body and a Venturi and whatnot, but in my eyes, that's about a $25.
Yeah, see if you can get you a red car body for it, just for looks.
Yeah. So, and then this is
Revlite.
Yeah, but this is you'll see it has two holes on the side. On that's the intake.
You got to hold it higher. Yes, the ports are a lot different from the AME.
Yeah, well, see this one. See, that's the regular 061 Big Mig.
Yeah.
But then that's the high performance version.
Okay.
Is that also different from the AME?
Well, this is the AME 061.
Oh, I see what you're saying there. Oh, are you saying you take okay, so the crankshaft and everything's the same, you could take that whole assembly and put it on a Big Mig and you have an AME.
Instead of having 2 little intake snurlies, it has 1 big one.
Yeah.
And the boost is different. Let me see, where's the boost part?
Yeah. That's the only difference in parts between the 2 engines?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
See the one on the right. The one on the right is the high performance one, and the one on my left is the stock one.
Yeah.
So this is the one that's that's what they were doing. Yeah, I mean we were really competitive with Half A, and everybody was pulling out all this, doing every trick in the book.
Yeah.
And then what I was doing, I took a Dremel, to the 2-port ones and made them bigger, to popping up everybody's, 061s for everybody to make them compete with the one that you bought,
Do you find that the stock AME Big Mig, the stock Big Migs pre-Revlite or Revlite issue or any different in performance, do you think, or are they the same? Yeah.
I mean, unmodified, the one I showed you right outperforms it, but like I said, if you're real handy with a Dremel and you're careful what you're doing, you can make the other one run just as good.
I know, but my question is, you got a pre-Revlite and Revlite right out of the box. Which one runs better? Is there any difference?
I didn't have I didn't have any experience with the pre-Revlite ones.
Oh, okay.
All my experience was with the ceramic coated ones.
Yeah, I've never seen an AME that had a Revlite cylinder on it. Every AME I've ever seen was pre-Revlite, and Big Migs I've seen both.
Well, this is the one I just showed you, the AME 061, Revlite.
Yeah, I recognize it because it's black and it's shaped different.
I was, that's when NV just took over, and
yeah,
I'm sorry,
Well,
boy.
what's the story with NV? I mean, I've run into a couple of people who've gotten really shitty fits in their piston cylinders, and I never heard of that old Big Migs or old Norvells. There's one guy on Cox forums that just detests Norvell because he bought some that was such a loose fit they wouldn't run, so he got a replacement, and the replacement was loose fit too. One of our Cox engine forum buddies, the guy from Turkey.
They were loose fitting. That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
I got a 61 of them AMEs, and it would never run. It doesn't have no compression right from the factory.
Oh.
Very quality control.
That was Mike. That was Andrus below. I don't know if you saw those threads or not, but he's
What
from.
do you got there, Gerald? What's all
Yeah,
that?
It's the weekend tally from
That's
the two
weekend
boys.
tally?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They were having a good old time, smacking them in the mud, even though the ground was soft. They were piling them in. And, I was balancing a whole lot of props before. But, yeah.
Hey, Al, I had to go for a minute. Did you bring them props up? I didn't get to see them.
Oh no. That's. You see how it has the ridges next to the ribs next to the hub.
Yeah.
That's the one you want to use if you're gonna, spin it for fast combat. Like, if you cut it down and it's gonna spin like 22,000 RPMs or more, because this was a 5.3 and I cut it down to a 4 1/4, and this is what you want to use on a TDO 49 or an 061 Big Mig if you want to put it on a Gladiator, one of those half-A combat jobs.
Yeah.
That's how you want the prop to look.
And
that's the prop you want. You don't want to use the ones that have the safety tips on it. You bring it up to RPM and it'll throw the blades instantly.
Okay.
So.
Hey, Al, what do you think about them adding a half-A stunt event at Brodax?
That's pretty cool. I think we're going to give it a try.
I'm absolutely going to do it, man. My train thought, if they're going to open up, if it's 049, or if it's 01, but I've got a mini stunt rocket Blackhawk kit that I always thought would be a great little half-A stunt plane. I run one of those VAs on it with the Nelson plugs on a bladder. What do you think about that?
Oh, it'll be quick. But.
Well, I'm thinking, because Reedies are going to sag and put out the power, I don't think.
Right.
If you say any 049, I'm going to run hypo one on a bladder, man. And
you're going to try to run it a little rich because Nelson plugs won't run rich. You might want to get his carrier hot plug if you can still get it.
Okay.
He has a hot plug.
I mean, for that matter, I'll hang one of my Profis on there, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're doing something cool now. We're doing what's called, vintage combat stunt. Speed stunt, we're calling it.
Yeah.
And we're timing it. And so far, guys did the pattern in a minute and 40 seconds.
But full-size combat birds, though, right?
Well, yeah, but it has to be vintage. It has to be,
Right.
But the rules are, the timing starts from the wing over. You only have to take one lap in between maneuvers, except when you go inverted, it's 4 instead of 6. Okay. And then when you come out of the clover, that's when the clock shuts off.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, the guys are, they're having a blast doing it.
I'll start practicing with, let's see, I'll build a Nemesis, put a shear weapon, throw a Nelson 36 on it.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to.
That sounds like fun.
I wonder how big is that? Because Andrew Nadine is making these. Makes these. For the Fora.
Yeah, and I bought some replacements for my Profi because I broke one of my needles.
That won't work in your Norvell?
I don't know. I need to look and see if my Profi needle will fit in there because.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
I don't know if because. Because that's a little tighter than. I should go look at. I should go look at it. I should go look at the engine. All right, so you're taking out the. Are you taking? You're taking out the Venturi and running it right through the case, right?
Yeah. That's what I would do.
I'm trying to.
One right here. This is.
I thought I had a Driscoll needle one left, but I can't find it.
I'll give you $20 for it.
Yeah.
That's the Profi needle right there. That's the replacement for the Profi.
The Profi, what, 049?
The Profi 049, yeah. And these are $20 a piece from Hobby Club out in San Clemente. He's the guy that carries the Profi stuff.
Right. But this is an F2D.
That's for a 15?
Right, for a 15.
Okay.
But it's custom made by Andrew Nadine.
What's the barrel on that?
I don't know how to. I have to go get a calipers.
Oh, okay.
Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Hello, Charles.
And hey, Gerald. I don't think I spoke to you when you came back either.
That guy again.
This one measures 135, Al. 136.
I gotta go get my calipers. Are you guys?
Yeah, I'll stick around for that.
Okay.
Well, Charles, that airplane almost got shipped today.
Oh, okay. Almost is getting there.
I got to the post office 3 minutes late.
Ah.
So
well, I appreciate the effort.
I swear to God now that I got it in my work van, but now I was working over by the UPS place. But
Right.
now that I got that and I want to ship something, they won't get me over there ever again probably for 3 months.
Okay. Yeah, when you get it here, you get it here. At least it's in your truck, so.
Yeah, it's just a deal. I got UPS. I got GPS on my van.
Yeah, right.
So they always know where I'm at. Well, across the street from the place where we go get electrical parts and stuff, it's right across from the UPS deal. And I've had to go there and get contactors, all this kind of stuff. Think now I need anything like that from there? Hell no.
What's that? Right here. Right here. I just sat down. I'm sorry. Just hang on.
Hey, Charles, what's going on, man?
Oh, we just got back from Legoland.
Oh, nice.
My family and I, we were there for a couple of days and just got in and getting settled in.
All right.
Bring any Legos back with you?
Oh yeah, we got some. My kids they scored. They have these they're called gold pop badges. I guess they're kind of rare. My kids got 3 of them today.
Wow.
So we really had the favor of the Lord in a lot of ways.
Nice.
So we had a good time. 2 days there and spent a lot of time in the hotel swimming and. I got some exercise I haven't had in a long time. So I probably worked on my tan a little bit, but you probably can't tell.
Oh, yeah, you look darker.
Well, Charles, you missed show and tell, so I'm going to pull these out real quick again.
Oh, man, how nice of you.
The SV22.
Oh, man.
The more beat up one. And then there's another SV22, which
Oh,
is
wow.
a lot better shape.
Beautiful.
So,
I love that shade of red on the nose of the first one, or the canopy.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
If I can
Yeah, I like that
engines,
color.
I'm still hunting a PA 65 or a 61, Charles. So if you know anybody, send them my way, please.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, the problem is no one wants to give them up. You know what I mean?
I'm finding that out, man.
Because I mean, I have a friend. He has lots of motors like that, but be hard pressed for him to get rid of any of them.
Well, if you talk to him, I'm a motivated buyer, and I'll pay top dollar. And they're not going to go. Not going to go in a box and sit on a shelf. I'm going to fly them. You know.
All right. So you're looking for a 61 and a 65. Okay.
Either one. Either one.
All right. I'll talk to Dave Sabon. I know he might have them all in planes, but like I said, it's pretty slim to none.
No.
But I think he likes the luxury of having one in the plane, and if he needs to have some work done, he'll send the other one to Randy Smith. And for the rotation, so you always.
I get it, but it doesn't hurt to ask, and I'm asking.
Oh yeah, I'll ask.
I'm asking everybody to put the word out. So
I will definitely ask. Now, have you put a request on Stunthangar?
Dude, I got requests everywhere, man.
On the classified section?
Box engine forums, he got a request. I
got it everywhere, man.
All right.
Believe me.
I'll tell you what, Mike, if I can ever get one, then you'll never have a problem getting one. Because once I have something, nobody ever wants it again.
Or you just don't give it.
I remember I wanted a Fiero, and I finally got one. And then I couldn't sell it. I mean, nobody wanted the damn thing.
Was it the 4-cylinder or was it the 6-cylinder?
It was the 4.
Okay.
My best friend in high school was killed in one of them damn things.
What the hell was that?
Yeah,
I had a buddy in high school. He jumped in a Fiero with this chick. She got it for her 17th birthday. He jumped in the car with her to go for a ride, and he had her 2-year-old nephew was in the car with him, and she crashed the damn thing in a telephone pole and killed my buddy and killed the 2-year-old.
Oh, how terrible.
She walked away. She broke the car in half. Broke the car in half on the telephone pole. Yeah, I remember when those came out, man. The Fiero.
Yeah.
Like 85, 86, 88.
I had a lady with a Ford LTD, a great big ass LTD.
I remember those.
I hit her broadside with my Fiero, and my car bounced back. No shit. To the light. She ran through the intersection, or turned left in front of me, and I hit her. My car stopped right at the light. They had to tow her car away, and I drove mine away.
Holy shit!
Really? Wow.
Yeah, but it did like $3,000 some worth of damage.
Hey Al, what do you got over there on that spray bar? What'd you come up with?
You're looking for
the OD of the spray bar.
The OD of, well, I mean, Doug makes these little half-A ones.
Wow.
Doug Galbraith makes those?
Yeah, they're I mean, this will work.
And will that run on a bladder? Is that a fine thread?
Oh, it's super fine, yeah. And it's only, although the one end measures 117, and then on in the middle, it's really skinny. 94. The problem with these are, if you tighten the nuts up real tight, you'll twist it and break it off.
Twist and break it. What about the F2D needle you had?
That's thicker. That's and it's too wide. You'd have to shim it. It's 157.
It's 157. Okay, this one I'm holding for the Profi is 137.
Right.
So I think this would probably be a better option.
But then, I mean,
What size are the ones that go in the
measure the drift
in the mid in that the other one?
Well,
I don't know yet because I haven't pulled one out to measure.
Oh.
We were just looking at some Russian needles to see if they would work in Norville or the VA.
I mean, this is my, one of my Norvells, and it has a Driscoll needle in it.
Yeah. Okay. So you just drill the case. You don't use a Venturi at all. You go through the through holes.
Yeah. I drill it out, and where the bolt is, I drill it out and just put it right through there and put it on a bladder.
And what size is that spray bar in there? How much are you choking off? How much are you blocking? Do you know?
That's the Driscoll setup.
Okay, it's a Driscoll. All right.
Yeah, that's the Driscoll spray bar. I mean, I'd have to take it. It's at least 130.
130. So I guess too, you could just take an OS nozzle and run that through there, and then run them off a remote if you had to.
Yeah, I mean, you could
Not
make
ideal.
Yeah, that's what you need. You don't need the thing I did. The way I did it left the Venturi in it. You don't want.
Well, I would just I've got all these motors, and I'd like to get them all set up the same, so that when he starts wrecking them and crashing them, you know, stuff's interchangeable.
Yeah.
Just have the same needle or same spray bar or the same remote for all of these engines. I don't like that. Not one of these is the same as the other. There's 2, 4, 6 engines here, and every one of them has a different type of needle in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used OS remote needles out of the RC models, and like that one there, the spray bar is just a bit of copper tubing, JB welded in with a normal OS needle valve assembly out of a radio motor. And I've used it on a lot of models now.
Yeah, I like that setup, Al. I like that you took the Venturi out and just right through the case with it.
Yeah, now this has been combat proven. I sent up like 6 of our, you know, at the time we had 6 guys flying these things, and this was the cheapest way to go in, you know, to do it.
And that's just a Galbraith head with a regular glow plug in it. That's Doug
Galbraith's head with a Nelson plug in it.
Oh, it is a Nelson plug. Okay.
Yeah, that's the head that Doug Galbraith makes.
Okay, I got you. And are those still available?
I think so. You have to go on his website.
Yeah.
But that makes them a lot more power.
Steve McBride just joined us. Hey, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hey, Rusty.
Hey,
I hate
Steve.
to tell you, but we're signing off in just a minute now.
Oh.
What plane you got back there, Steve?
That's my Thunder Gazer.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, that's right. You had to rub it out, didn't you, or something?
Yeah, I got done rubbing it out. Let me see if I can turn it around for you here.
All right, looks good, man.
Yeah, it looks very nice.
Who designed that plane originally?
Dave Fitzgerald.
Dave Fitzgerald.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
set up this right here with the bike.
That's a Thunderbolt wing from Billy Werwage in his original Stargazer. He had a Stargazer, and then he stuck the Thunderbolt wing in it and became a Thundergazer.
Yeah, the first one was a Stargazer. Dave made one like that, and it had a yellow to it. I think it was a yellow one, the Stargazer.
Yeah, and he put that wing in it and become the Thundergazer, because that's that.
Guys around the Carolina gang, Will Davis and Watt and Whitmore and Watt's friend Curtis all built, and other guys all built Stargazers, and that was back in the 80s, I think, and they were like a little Stargazer club for a while there.
Huh.
Hey, Al, can you hold up that Galbraith needle again and let me get a look at that?
Steve, what motor you got in there?
A little half-A one. Yeah.
That's the new K77 that Randy's selling.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
The new K77 piped.
Now, is that the size of the PA-77 or 75 or?
It's exactly the same replica of a PA-75.
No, okay. Well, that ain't gonna help you then.
What's that?
I thought. Well, Mike's looking for a PA motor, and I'm thinking I forgot about the K77. How that's set up.
Well, the K77 is designed to work and perform exactly like the PA, like the same replica of the PA-75.
Yeah. Well, Mike needs a smaller case of the 61 or the 65. And I didn't know
Rear exhaust and side exhaust.
That's it.
What's that?
Rear exhaust or side exhaust?
Rear exhaust.
Oh. I have them in side exhaust.
Oh, you got the PAs and side exhaust?
61s in side exhaust.
What's the other one, Al? I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt here real quick,
Okay.
guys. What's the other one, Al?
That's the top one that Doug makes for like a Rossi 15 or a Nelson 15.
Oh.
So I'm just showing you that as comparison.
Okay, but the bottom one is
Hold
the
it higher
half
up.
one, and that'll run a bladder, no problem.
Yeah, but you'd have to use a real fine, you know, it's a very small, inlet, so you'd have to use small tubing on it.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
You know, like you'd have to, you know, run very small tubing, but it's the right distance across.
That was my next question. So, do you run that in the application where you're going through the case? Right.
Yes. Yeah. This will. This will. See, it's the right distance.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
what I need. Galbraith has those. What do you know what it's called? Is he called a half A needle?
I think it's a smaller needle. I think he calls it the half A needle.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Great.
But it's pretty small. It's like I said, it's only like ID is only like 100, and you have to use a small. You're going to have to reduce coming out of your bladder into like what I did was I made a reducer. I soldered 1/8 tubing down to the next size tubing and used the small fuel tubing.
I've got super tiny tubing for Master Car to run in the fast shutoffs for the Nelsons.
Right.
Because you got to use that real tiny stuff.
It's probably smaller than that. It's a small tubing, but
really,
yeah.
Well, I can figure that out. I'd probably put a piece of plastic tubing over the end and slip it over the end of that.
The only thing is, you can't go crazy cutting the two together because you'll twist them right off.
I got you.
Yeah, you know.
All right, yeah, Steve. So if you know anybody around where you're at, Mike's looking for a rear exhaust PA 61 or 65.
Rear exhaust. The only person I knew that had one, and you may want to get in touch with him, but you may have to buy the plane with it because he doesn't want it. Try to get in touch with Rich Peabody.
Okay.
You get in touch with Rich Peabody. I know he's got one in in a Doug Moon airplane, and he was looking to get rid of the airplane and the motor and the whole setup from basically right for the right cost. I wasn't in the need for one at that time.
What did he want for it? You know?
Oh, it was a couple years ago when I was looking at it. I think he wanted the airplane and with the motor, whole pipe prop, the whole setup to it. I think it was like $400 or $500, $450, $500 for it.
That was a couple years ago, though.
Yeah.
Do you know if
I know he still has it.
There you go, Mike. Get on Stunthangar and or Facebook and get. You know, Rich is on Facebook too.
Yeah.
I keep tabs with him. I say I load him here and there, and I keep tabs. I still know he has that Doug Moon airplane with the PA 70 with the PA 65 in it, but he wants to sell the whole thing.
Hey, Mike, how many of those needles do you need? Just one.
Let me see. I probably need 4, Al.
Oh, no. Because I think I have one of the last version that Driscoll made.
Yeah, I've got one of those exactly in one of the Norvilles, and that's really the best thing.
Yeah.
That just drops right in, you know.
Yeah.
I've got one Driscoll needle. After that, I couldn't get any more from him.
I know. I should have bought 10 of them when I bought the one. You know.
He had to hunt. I think he scratched a needle up for me when I broke one once out of the bottom of a junk drawer somewhere. It was the only one he had.
Yeah, I mean, I called him as recently as 6 months ago to try to get needles from him.
I used to buy old half-A props. I used to buy like 30 at a time. You know, his combat props. They used to, we used to go through them, like almost every match.
Sure.
But Navely said he's got an AME that would only run. Said the book says it only runs 20,500 RPM. says, I wonder if a Venturi would turn it faster. And I wrote, no, not a chance. And he said, and I told him the book's probably testing with a 6.3. For some reason, NV Engines does that.
It's too much.
I told him to put a 4-inch Cox rubber ducky on it.
Yeah, 4 1/4. You know, start at 4.5 and keep on cutting your way down until. But you know, for us, it was like 4-inch, 4 1/8.
Yeah.
We came up with the same thing, Al. When Larry and I first started running our Profies and Foras, we were doing rubber duckies.
Right.
We did a bunch of tests, and I think we ended up with like 4.2
right
optimum, where we got the most RPMs and the fastest lap times.
Yeah.
We could get more RPMs out of them, but then the lap times suffered because there wasn't enough there. But just over 4 was what we were running.
Okay, he's listening too, so he ought to have all that information.
I found this was down the basement. I mean, I ran these on the Gladiator. You see how long my mounts are because the Norvell was so light. Because I would just the plane was set up the same. I just had the engines moved out further to balance right.
Sure.
And then when I run the car engines, the Picos, they're the heaviest, so I got them right up against the wing. So there's
tell me what size that bar is, Al.
What's that?
Can you tell me what size your bar is?
Oh, on that?
On the engine, yeah, so I can buy some.
Oh, this is.
I'm always trying to take weight to the front of my Gladiator, and that's all I need.
Yeah, I don't have a tape measure handy right now.
Has anyone heard from Eric Rule
like
and his whereabouts are?
Anybody hear from who?
Eric Rule and where his whereabouts are? I've been trying to get in touch with him.
Yeah.
Eric Rule has a different phone number. Let me give it to you.
Yeah, I've been trying to call him. I've been trying to email him and getting up.
Yeah, I had the same problem. He called me back.
Hey, Rusty, it's 253, and it's 357. It's not hot. I just bought bar, and because the engines were so light that I just bought the bar and drilled it out to make it on the Gladiator.
Okay. Yeah, I could have probably walked into the store. All right, great. Yeah, I could have walked into the store and probably figured that out, but I need to do that before I fly that Gladiator again. Hopefully the day will come.
So it's 260 this way. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
260, and then this way it's 357.
Okay. Yeah, it's 11/64 by like 3 something. Anyway, yeah, I can handle that.
And then all I did was line it up and 2 bolts going through there, and then I just found the 2 holes here. Pitch principle.
Cute. Yeah, that'll work great. I just got my engine bolted right to the wood on the nose. I guess I put that wood on there, or was it already there? I don't remember. I think it came with wooden beams on it, but it's too close.
I don't know. It worked. We flew the crap out of those things. We were constantly flying them, and running 25 nitro, and again, has the head with the Nelson.
35.
Has the Doug's head with the Nelson plug in it.
Mm-hmm. I just used the Merlin heads on mine.
Yeah, but it's they ran great. I mean, they were screamers. They would keep up with the Cyclones. We had them keeping up with the Cyclones. You can't fly it at the Nats, but it was a plain bearing engine 061. We allowed that against the Cyclones and the Profies.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, do you see it on the internal chat?
I saw it there for a minute. It said you came up there 951.
Yeah, just read it there. I don't want to share it with the world. That's why I did the internal chat. That's just
Okay.
amongst us.
I saw it come up on the screen quick, and I didn't get a chance to write it all down. So
Yeah, compared to whatever he was trying, I think that's different, right?
yeah.
Okay.
We'll do just 12:30. So I think we're going to sign it off until Friday, but appreciate you coming. We had a pretty good conversation tonight, so thanks everybody for showing up. You guys on the tube side too, thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna have to show that engine when you get it.
Oh,
Rusty,
I will.
you doing?
Don't worry, I'll be talking about that, and
Al,
I'll first drive it on Stunthangar too, and I'll
all
copy.
needle valve tips, Al. I appreciate that.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, man. All right.
Anybody
We'll see y'all
wants
on
to stay
Friday.
on? I'm going to stay on for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, y'all hang out and have fun, but I'm gonna sign off the tube anyway. So anyway, till Friday, fair winds, tight lines. We'll see y'all later.
All right.
Rusty.